Yeah, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cohort 16 Demo Day. We have 9 pitches today, including 4 from the Cohort 16 participants, plus there are another 5 invitee startups. So we've presented a bouquet of total 9 startups across cybersecurity, Healthtech, Edtech, creator platform. Deeptech is there in terms of IIT Mumbai startup, and then logistics, low code, HR tech, and space tech. So it's a nice bouquet of 9 startups we'll be presenting today. SARTHY doesn't claim all of them to be fundable till now. So this today's pitch is kind of helping us decide whether they are fundable or not. So technically, this is not a pitch where you are going to take a decision to invest. That is going to happen one-on-one. So once SARTHY declares a startup fundable, then we call separate set of our angel investors, plus we take them to partner angel networks, VCs, family offices, and then the investment journey starts. So this is where we are kind of understanding from your personal investing thesis whether this startup is fundable or not. Of course, we've got 10 parameters which we've shared a sheet for you. If anyone has a problem for the panelists to access the sheet, please DM and we'll share the sheet with you. There's a separate sheet for Team SARTHY and there's a separate sheet for the panelists, right? So we rate this with comments. Your comments are really valuable. So SARTHY is for everyone. It's not only for investable startups or startups who are fundable. If you're not fundable, you should know what are the top 3 things you need to do to become fundable. And that's what the startups would get if they are declared not fundable. And of course, they'll get opportunity to pitch in future demo days, which happen usually every 2 months. And the other side, there are VIP assessment startups like Qoruz, which is a platform, or a Trinano. So these startups are VIP assessment happening for them. So we want to understand whether they are fundable or not, and we'll have domain experts comment. Yeah, mute yourself if you're not speaking so that we don't have background noise. And while you're speaking, also just ensure there's no background noise. So that's the idea, that we take you through this journey of 9 startups, present the entire bouquet across different segments, and take your opinion whether fundable or not, and give the feedback to the startup. You're fundable, great. Come to Champions, we'll work on your business model, do mock pitches, and take you to investors. Not fundable, these are the 3 things you need to do to become fundable. So I'll quickly introduce the panel, starting with Giridharan sir. Giridharan sir, you can quickly introduce in 30 seconds. He's been a well-wisher of SARTHY. In fact, he leads SSN, which is the incubator, and because of him, we've got a couple of startups that are part of this cohort. Yeah, Giridharan sir, you can introduce yourself in short.
Yeah, hi, I'm Giridharan. I head the incubation foundation of SSN College of Engineering, SSN iFound. I'm an engineer, MBA, with 4 decades of industry experience, and come this side of the table working with startups for about last 2 years. Great to be here and to meet some of the very interesting startups. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So actually, SARTHY journey kind of starts where the incubation journey ends. So incubators also keen. I worked with the startup for 1 year, 1.5 years now. Is it fundable? So SARTHY's 5-minute test, which many of SSN startups have taken, followed by a 15-minute call and then a 2-week assessment. If you pass all these 2, otherwise the Minds program, which Cohort 16 is running. Cohort 17 is announced starting on June 21st for India. Cohort 1 US is also announced. So that's how we've got the US team also here in terms of finding out how India cohort is going. And cohort 1 for US will be happening on 28th of June. And I also, hopefully, God willing, be there by end June. Yeah. Next, Sushmita, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sushmita. I head investments at NSRCL and working with the startups for 12 odd years now. And I've worked with IMA Ventures before this. And good to be here and looking forward to hear the startups.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for joining, Sushmita. So NSRCL is quite a long journey of NSRCL, which I watched from outside in terms of supporting early stage startups. In fact, when I was a startup in 2012, also I had visited and met Suresh sir, I think, and Ramesh sir at that time. So that's the history of NSRCL. So good work being done by IIM Bangalore and NSRCL. Yeah. Next, I'll request Devesh. Devesh, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, hi, I'm Devesh. My conventional introduction is I'm a grandfather with 2 grandkids. So those are the 2 most important startups in my life right now. Apart from that, I've invested in a few other startups and funds. So having fun, generally speaking. Based in Bangalore, Other interests include Hindustani classical music and gardening and etc. Thank you.
So Devesh is a very humble well-wisher of the startup ecosystem. He had a startup of his own called Amicus Brain, where he was a CXO for some time. So he has spans both side ecosystem, and health tech is his passion. But thanks to him, Bala may be reaching Eureka soon, Bala of Purplenet. Yeah. So thanks, Devesh, and thanks for being a well-wisher for us also. Yeah, I'll move to the US team. So Rishikesh, you can introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm a IIT Bombay graduate who came to the US. The first part of my career was as an engineer at Micron. After MBA, I pivoted to marketing. I helped big companies like Samsung, Toshiba take their innovative products to market. And this is my third career where I'm directly working with startups, helping them take their own innovation to market. I'm a fractional CMO for various startups. I'm also a mentor for various accelerators in the US, including Techstars and Plug and Play, FalconX, Silicon Catalyst, etc. Glad to be
Great.
here. Looking
Yeah,
forward.
thanks, Rishikesh, and thanks for waking up so early in the morning. It's 4:30 in San Francisco, so thanks for taking that effort. Really appreciate it from all of us. So Sarthi also plans to be a bridge between Indian startups who are solving global problems. So we have a concentrated solar power startup, we have a cancer research startup, and of course, India, there's limited risk capital. US is 5x, 10x in terms of risk capital. Uh, you've got so many stories, right? 3 billion, 5 billion, multi-billion valuation, even pre-revenue. So we plan to, and why not Indian founder doing the same, or maybe cutting edge effort in India, getting access to that global investor ecosystem. And that's how we are early days, but that's our vision, to be the bridge between Indian world best startups and global investors, many sitting in the US. So I think, Rajesh, am I missing anyone to introduce from the panel? Because a few folks are still left to join. No? Okay. Fine. So we can go to our first pitch. The rest is Team Sarthi, so I'm not spending time on the introduction. Or quickly, you can turn on your camera and just say hi, Team Sarthi. Starting with you, Shaswat. Shaswat, say hi. Yeah, hello. Preetham, Jayant. Jayant, just turn on your camera and say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, Nikita.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, and Jayant, I said Jayant, right? Or no? Jayant, you second. Acha, I said Jayant. Okay, thanks. Yeah, Rajesh and me. You know Rajesh and me. The rest is all our startups. Yeah. So we'll go to the first pitch for today, which is BotClub. BotClub was a part of Cohort 16, and it's an EdTech, B2b Edtech. We'll have a 10-minute pitch followed by 5 minutes of Q&A. So, and Shaswat is our timekeeper. Over to you, Harsha. You can share about Harsh. Sorry, yeah, you can share about BotClub, Harsha. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, well, good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to have all of you over here. Myself, I'm the co-founder of BotClub Private Limited.
Yeah, turn on your camera, Harsha, and also share the screen with your pitch. Your time starts now. Yeah.
I think I need to turn off my camera because my laptop doesn't have a camera, but my tablet has. If that is okay, I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, we can see you. We can see you. Great. I didn't see you from two screens. Go ahead. We can see you, Harsha. Go ahead. Yeah, you can share the screen and share the pitch.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah.
Yeah, Harsha.
So we are BotClub. We are incubated in Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. And the government of Andhra Pradesh has provided some incubation facility over here. That's where we operate from. And this is the team, the foundational team. Myself, as I just mentioned, I'm an engineer turned innovator. I have a background of 2 years working in data analyst and Cognizant. And post that, I have 3 years of teaching experience, especially for grade 9 to 10 physics. And post that, for the last 6 years, I dedicated myself to build some tools that might help teachers to visualize science. And joining with me, I have Nitin and Rahman, both of our co-founders with me. Nitin has a finance background and he graduated from Alliance University. And he brings in 8 years of sales experience and he's passionate about science and he's driving the current sales of BotClub. And Rahman is a silent partner, but still he is advising us on network and infrastructure, especially since we are building a digital scalable solution. He's trying to give his support over there. And joining our team, we have a good set of advisors and mentors who are professors in physics, as well as a vice president of Centurion University, who is acting as an advisor for us. And also we have a mentor from a CBSE governing body, Mrs. K. Alamelu ma'am. So they are also a part of our curriculum design team. During the last 5 years of our journey, we won like a couple of events. One is Chennai Next Startup Challenge, where they allocated some fund for us. And we even gained some grant from MIT, Ministry of Electronics, under the TIDE scheme. As I mentioned, we are currently incubated at AP Innovation Society, and we are also supported by Chennai Incubation and Technology Innovation Center. Of course, SARTHY has been in a recent association with us too. So coming to our problem statement, we have digital solutions and digital content that is scattered across, where the teachers are trying to pick up the pieces from multiple places and providing an experience inside the classroom for abstract sciences, especially physics, chemistry, or biology. But there is a limited integration of visualizations in these lesson planning. When a teacher prepares a lesson plan, she should expect that when she enters into the classroom, like everything is integrated in such a way she'll have a hassle-free experience in taking the class. But that unfortunately isn't happening. And the tools that are available outside is not so highly customizable. And as we very well knew, like most schools lack curriculum aligned and interactive materials to support this kind of an experiential learning. So we're addressing this interdependent problem. Before getting onto the solution, I would like to give you a small gist of the market. We have a total addressable market of 5 lakh schools, and out of which, if you just take 20%, that would be around 1.1 lakh schools, which is our serviceable available market. And we are talking about the K to 12 segment with the digital infrastructure and who are primarily focusing on science subjects for grade 6 to grade 10th. And as we have seen from the last 5 years, especially in the private school, the infrastructure, the digital infrastructure is actually getting doubled. So that is being driven by multiple factors. And there is an estimated 12 to 15% of CAGR in K to 12 Indian schools. And it's on a trend to meet the regulatory demands that the government is imposing. And not just that, it's also parental demand because the current generation needs and more advanced learning tools. And so on the top of it, coming onto the teacher's front, a teacher nearly invests 15 hours per month. That is approximately 60 minutes per day for the 15 days in a month in order to prepare the lesson plans for her. So coming to the solution, I'll drop it over here and I'll share it on the tablet. So this application, what you're looking at, will be installed in teachers' mobile phones, will be provided to her. She'll just log in using the credentials that has created by her. And then if she's a physics teacher, she'll select the subject physics. And then if it is 9th standard A section that she wanted to take the class on force and pressure, all these subtopics as per the NCERT curriculum it is. That will be sequenced it out and she can prepare the lesson. She can schedule it for tomorrow, let's say afternoon 3:15 p.m. And the lesson got scheduled and there is an auto populated over there to take the hardware model to the classrooms. So this particular model that you're looking at is a hardware model that is instructed for the teacher to take it inside the classroom. Now the job on this application is done. Now there is this application that is installed in their classrooms. So she'll use the same login ID through which she has created the lesson plan. And as you can see, like for 3:15, there is a class scheduled for force and pressure for 9th standard day section. So once they click on the load lesson, all the visuals and 3D interactive elements, whatever is associated to that topic that has been scheduled in the lesson plan application will get scheduled here. And there, before the start of the class, she has an AI assist. She can just click on AI assist. So in order to introduce a class, there will be some questions that get populated over there as it is getting populated here. Oh my. I'll come back to this. There is a slow internet, I guess. Yeah, she can move on to the next topic. The first topic that she has selected is atmospheric pressure. The 3D visualization of that will be populated. The main reason for us to create this kind of visualization aspect is to make sure like that they have some kind of an imagination that the students can provoke it onto. And here again, they can click on the AI assist. They can click on write on some question. Let's say, what is it, force? They get an answer get generated, and you have an additional questions. Does air pressure vary geographically? You get an answer for it. So the conversation can also be built on the topic that is being shown. In a similar fashion, she can take on to all the topics one by one. And everything is 3D, and we have another small features like they have the direct NCERT textbook that will get populated on the screen. And you have an on-screen annotation as well, where they can write it on the screen and then try to annotate it, what is happening there. So this is one half of the product. Let's looking at the physical models that we spoke of that the teacher need to carry inside to the classroom.
Yeah, Harsha, you've got only 1 minute left.
So these are the hardware models that we are talking about. Let's quickly switch back to the presentation. And everything is functional in nature. So that's the solution. And then coming to the business model, we sell to the schools using our channel partners. And right now, we have the channel partners who are school stationery suppliers and furniture suppliers whom we have signed an MOU with. And we recently went on with a collaboration with an university, which is Century University. So they have a good network of schools in the eastern part of India. So our go-to-market strategy would be for the next 3 years, we are going to strengthen our supply marketers and expand only through their channels until we reach hundreds of schools. Post which, simultaneously, we are planning to prepare a digital onboarding funnel and wherein which we are taking the support from marketing agency partnerships. So ultimate goal is to create a SaaS-driven automation for the scale. And the traction will be like we have 17 paid clients across three cities, and we generated 29 lakhs of revenue in the last 15 months. And we disbursed 540 plus working models across. And we signed 2 MOUs, as I just mentioned, and we have a 100% retention rate for the last year. And it's ongoing for the current academic year as well. And these graphs states like
Shashwat, Shashwat has mentioned last 15 seconds only, Harsha. So let's go to the fundraise. Yeah, what are you looking for?
Yeah. So coming to the raise, as of now, we invested around 1.8 crores in 2 things, the seed and the bridge capital, and at a valuation of 3 crores and 6 crores respectively. And this was raised by angels and internal partners. The current ask would be 1.25 crores at a valuation of 10 crores. And we're open to have it from any HNIs, high net worth individuals, or any family offices and VCs. Most of the fund would be allocated onto the marketing side, and 25% would be onto the sales side, and 10% onto the product and operations, 5%. Most because the product was already into the market, and then we have plethora of content that was created to make use of the funds specifically onto the marketing and the sales aspect.
Yeah, so we can pause now, Harsh. Yeah, we can go for Q&A. Yeah, thanks, Harsh.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are open for questions. We have 5 minutes for questions. Yeah.
Can I go, Girish, since everybody's gone quiet?
Please, Devesh.
Okay, hi, thank you. That was a great presentation. So, Harsh, very happy to see a startup from Visakhapatnam. So,
Thank you, Dev.
thank you very much. This is what we need. We need more and more startups coming from, tier 2, tier 3 cities. And I'm sure Visakhapatnam is a beautiful place. Harsha, who makes the content for your all that rotating globe and all those lovely pictures you showed? Who makes that content?
We make the content. We have 1,000 plus 3D assets that were already created. But the ultimate object is like down the lane, we wanted to bring in the teachers and SMEs in order to help us create the content.
Okay. Which was my second question, but you kind of answered it. I don't see educational domain in your founding team. I see technologists. So how are you going to fill that gap?
We have somebody called as a content creation team, and this content creation team is headed by or validated by Professor Shantama. I was in my opening slide. She's one of the content validator. And alongside, we have another couple of people who are professors teaching in universities who are helping us create the content. And that is being translated to the 3D artist, and they are making it, and finally it is getting validated once again. So that's how we have created a loop of content creation. So this happened for the last couple of years. We specifically dedicated ourselves only to create the 3D assets by completing this particular loop.
Yeah, thanks, Devesh.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, any last question, anyone?
Rajesh, sorry.
Harsh.
My mistake. Giridharan here. Your customers' schools are what is they are the customers, right? Finally, they are the buying the software, correct? Am I right?
Yes, the schools are the customers.
What problem of theirs are? Why are they taking your product? What is the problem of theirs you're solving?
The teachers especially, they create a lesson plan, and going beyond the lesson plan, they take digital content or videos or hardware models from here and there in order to make sure the classroom experience is good. We are bringing all of them into a one unified platform wherein which they have hardware models, they have 3D interactions. All they just need to do is bring down the lesson plan preparation time to hardly seconds, which I have just shown it to you on the screen.
Yeah, I understand that you're solving the problem of the teachers, but I'm trying to understand you have to sell it to schools, right?
Yes, yes.
Why should the school purchase? What is in it for them?
See, there is a very noticeable value proposition for the schools. If the school is actually spending like somewhere around 2-3 lakhs, they need the hardware models because they wanted to make sure like the amount has been spent and they have a laboratory full of equipment. So this is one noticeable value proposition which are selling to the schools. And the second thing is they don't want it just to have a pen drive of software getting installed for which they are spending like lakhs of money. So there is a good noticeable value proposition in the terms of hardware models that we have got, and it is giving us a little edge over the competitors to make the school convince.
Yeah, pretty crowded space. I thought a lot of people working on school content, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How are you differentiating yourself?
So we are the only solution provider who are combining the 3D interactive elements as well as hardware that integrated and anchored by the lesson plan. So the lesson plan is an anchoring element wherein which all this hardware and software is going together. We are the only provider who are combining the hardware and software together into the lesson plan.
Okay.
Great. Thanks, Giridhar. Yeah, just request all the panelists to rate the startup in the sheet given to you. Yeah, we've also got Ashok Kurian from Kerala Startup Mission. Hi, Ashok. You've just finished the first startup, so you can rate from the second startup, Ashok.
Hi, Girish. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll go to the next startup now, which is BugBusterLabs. It's a cybersecurity startup, again with a unique idea. So over to you, Amlam and team. Do turn on your video while you are presenting.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Girish, and thanks to the panel. And very good evening to you all. And just give me a second, I'll share my screen.
And Girish, isn't there like a minute for us to evaluate the previous startup?
Yeah, you can take that, Rishikesh, while he's setting it up. Yeah. Some people even try to do it on a paper and then transfer it. So you have till today day to fill it. We'll be compiling the scores after 24 hours. So he's setting it up. You can do it, right? Yeah.
You're able to see my screen?
Yes, Amla. Yeah.
Okay. Shall we start, or we'll wait for another 1 minute or so?
30 seconds you can wait, Amla, then you can start.
Right.
Yeah, Amla, I think you can start.
Okay. Thanks, Rachel. So I'm Amalan Marijan, the founder and CEO for BugBusterLabs, and we developed an artificial intelligence-driven proactive security solutions. The vision is to create a unified platform for all the proactive solutions across the organizations. We incorporated in India. We started in 2023, and we have in USA as well. We have partners, distributors in Australia and Middle East supporting our initiative on this. So who we are, I'm Amalan Marijan again, the founder and CEO with close to 27 years of experience in leadership roles in major organization tech companies like CA, McAfee, Symantec, Target, ABB, Verizon. And my last job before I start this initiative is with Atlassian. And I hold an MBA, and I have multiple patents in my career in McAfee. So I started this initiative along with my co-founder, who is a serial entrepreneur and a technology leader. We've been known each other for more than 20 years, and we started this initiative making sure that all the problems we see in the field, we need to have a solution where we can able to optimize it. Backed by our strong team in terms of development and artificial intelligence, and backed by our strategic advisor from Microsoft, Brian Broadshy, and we are heavily relying on our legal partner because we are working on serious issues on security, right? So we have to ensure that we practice and have the compliance and laws to be met. We incorporated in SSN. Thanks for Giridhan sir. We have incorporated and successfully coming out as a product in that. We also have a growth accelerator with founders program in Microsoft. We are leveraging heavily on Microsoft platforms. Coming back to the problems which we are trying to understand, right? So most of the organization, the security has specific solutions for each of their needs. For example, vulnerability management, application security, penetration testing, bug bounty. So each one have its own solution. That's the business, how it works, right? But the problem here is people want to have a proactive approach, but end up having a detective or a reactive based mode because there are fragmented platforms. Every team's silos, working on silos, understanding those issues, and then start fixing individually. And there is no comprehensive picture provided to the leadership. And it also always have a limited proactive detection. As I mentioned, that they want to go into proactive, but falls into a reactive mode, right? So there is no predictive analytic. What will happen if a specific vulnerability on a digital assets has been exposed? What would be the impact? So the key problem not allowing them to go proactive is to have the manual verification. So every issues, every alerts, incidents created by these platforms are manually being verified for duplicates, for false positive, reducing noise. And that takes a lot of time and effort for the organizations to understand or either miss those critical vulnerability or they miss the deadline of fixing those early. So that may impact heavily on their breaches or their kind of exploitation. So looking at all these problems, what we are targeting a specific market, right? We start with a unified proactive security platform. The target market for bug bounty is our first platform, first solution in our platform, and we are now into PATS, and we are moving to a dark web monitoring and our other solutions. So first platform is bug bounty market, which is evolving a huge change in the market by 4.9 billion by 2023. Now it's 500 millions. Increasing need of AI is the key resources, key pushing for us to move ahead on how we can able to optimize these solutions. Organizations are shifting from traditional audits. So traditional audits like pen testing or vulnerability assessment or AppSec, they are moving towards bug bounty. So researchers across the globe contribute vulnerabilities for the benefit of the organization. Solutions, what we are trying to provide after looking at those problems, we create the unified platform keeping 4 things in our mind. One is it should be a centralized visibility. So it gives a complete visibility to an organization across their security protection or proactive defense systems. They need a faster and accurate and efficient triaging process, risk scoring, and risk prioritization method, apart from a manual verification. That's what the standout solution from our side. We have an IP on that. We have a non-provisional patent has been filed on this since because in unique solutions we are offering. We also have created an ecosystem where the researchers and the contributors and the organization can collaborate for better improvement of their security. And we also have a researcher engagement model using our AI to ensure that right researcher has been allowed or applied for a specific program based on their skill sets. We never stop with the process. We also give support to those teams because security is always thinks as a dark way with threatening the customers and fearing the customer. Hey, we have a breach, you have an incident, you have an exploitation. So what we are providing is a kind of a AI powered Gen AI predictive analytic and the support system, which helps them whenever they have a clarity required on the technical nature of the problem or how they can able to fix those problems in a specific language or control system. This is how our product, the product overview. So we have we call this as a security knowledge platform where we onboard multiple solutions to this platform. We integrate with the customer workflow using Slack and Jira so that notification will be going, and we have a Jira ticketing system which will help each individual projects to work on faster. Since we are onboarding hackers to our platform and also internal in-house researcher, we thoroughly check their background using Checker, OFAC, and Spring Verify. We do all these transactions of the rewards from customers to the researcher using our Razorpay through our payment gateway infrastructure. This is how our product overview. I can just quickly go into the product. Probably you can just give a snapshot of the product. So this is a dynamic dashboard which provides complete information about how the program working, what are the vulnerability submission. Customer can configure how they want to have the report needs to be look like, right? So they can even download this report for a quick reporting to their readership. They can onboard any type of information. They also see the status when the KYC has been verified and all other information. We create programs. We identify submission. These rejections are happened through our AI within seconds, even though the title, the description, and the information has been changed, but the payload and the vulnerability URL has not been changed. It will immediately detect 99% accuracy. It will detect and provide a rejection, not allowing the duplicate or the known issue to get into the customer. We also have a dynamic reporting created, and these reports will be both technical based as well as executive summary based. So, and it will be dynamic reports which we have enabled customer to easily navigate and they can able to work on this issue and on immediately. And this report can be represented as a reporting model for any compliance reporting requirements.
Yeah, 1 minute left.
Right. So, okay. So, just one second. Okay. The business model is very what I can say is it's a basic and it's flexible model where we have basic professional and enterprise model and also MSP and white label, which the competitors are not offering. And we also have a GTM, which is a go-to market based on organic and inorganic based model where we have spent a lot of direct sales. We have partnerships enabled with Techno in Australia and Secure Digital in GCC. And we are currently expanding our reach from India and Middle East and Australia across Europe and USA as well. We are heavily moving on brand identity and brand visibility in terms of digital marketing and content marketing. We have created a customer journey, like we have built an awareness for them, and we considered applying paid and free demos, and then we expand the market through our sales. We also do cross sales. If a professional service has been adopted by a customer, we use our platform to demonstrate those activities to them. Competitive benchmark. We are ahead of all other competitor in terms of intelligent and unified platform approach. We also including forensic investigation, forensic integration, digital forensic integration in our platform, which is a first of kind, where we will be connecting all the dots of security for collection of evidence post-attack scenarios. Traction so far, we have onboarded 6 customers, and we have in these 9 customers are in pipeline. We also have participated in NBD, RFC and certain customers. We also working with Atlassian and Canva in the discussions are in place for adopting or onboarding our platform right now. Milestones and roadmap. This is what our roadmap looks like.
Yeah, go ahead. I think, yeah. Andres.
Yeah. Value proposition. So we identify specific problems that manual triaging is lapse and fragment security, both limited proactive detection. The answer to those problems is a AI-driven triaging process, central visibility, and GenAI-based predictive analytics. We are differentiating ourselves in terms of artificial intelligence, which is making complex scenarios being held by AI and making the platform fair, simple to use. The bootstrap capital, we spent close to 80 lakhs for our product development and marketing, sales and exposure to and expanding to other markets. We are sorting 3 crores with 12 to 8 months runway and the valuation of 20 crores.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Samdam. Yeah, we can break for questions. Yeah, we do take questions.
Yeah, happy to take any questions.
If you only have 6 customers so far, why do you have so much elaborate marketing and sales channel? Yeah, I think it's an overkill.
Actually, we are the product is live from November 2024. Typically December, we started to go live. Before that, we started to market our brand a lot in LinkedIn and events and participating, because we need to acquire customers as well as researchers to ensure that the platform is live. We spent almost 4 to 5 months and we onboarded 6 customers. We have a pipeline to close to 12 to 18 customers. We are in discussions with bigger enterprise as well as small, medium enterprise as well. The option of choosing to make sure that this has been expanded to global market, because one, we have to compete with HackerOne or BugCrowd or Integrity. We have to expand it to the market where we can able to fought at their fortress is the biggest, because we can able to learn how they're behaving and what are the informations are there and how we can able to fine tune your product. And we get a lot of feedback on that. When we are exposed to the other markets, we got a lot of feedback and we keep on changing it. Now we are in the PCI compliance and ISO compliance. That's a requirement from the customer as well. So that helps us getting more feedback from different regions. That helps us a lot of like reporting visualization, the dashboard refinement. We just made the refreshing dashboard and the reporting couple of months before. So that's the and the reach is going beyond, and till now it's bootstrapped, and we are funded by SAFS of a minimum seed fund only. So yeah, we have explored this option because we have to compete with competitors across the globe. So we have to go and venture into those areas.
Yeah, any follow-on question, Rishikesh?
Yeah, it's a very long answer.
Okay.
And I really wanted to understand, normally, initially you reach out to your network or customers, etc., and the cold campaigns, etc., and brand building comes much later. So I'm not really sure why you're doing the brand building first and doing cold campaigns initially.
We did cold campaigns. We did a beta version. We did MVP trial with Atlassian and Target, and they are the customers who gave a lot of feedback on improving
You're
those.
repeating the facts. I'm asking why.
The question why? Because since we are exploring a global partners, and it's a global problem we are solving, and so the brand building is the first thing which came in for us, right? So the brand building is very important for me to position my product across the global market. That helps me to penetrate it. Now at least I can say 1% of the population along in my circle with the 27 years of experience I worked in this market, they are knowing BugBusterLabs exist, and there are scopes, and there are calls being made. There are requirements coming in front of us because of the brand building which we have done. Before the product came into market, we did the brand building. We went to reach out to events, we participated, we put up the stall. That's how we
No,
attract.
Rishikesh's point is different, Amna. At your stage, he believes brand building comes later. You are saying it comes before. Fine, we'll take the
No,
difference
that's
of opinion.
because I have the customer acquisition and also researcher acquisition. Because without researcher,
Okay.
I cannot able to face the customer. So I have to acquire the researcher. So I need to create a brand so that researchers onboard, believe in us and onboard to our platform, so that I can present it to the customer. So customer acquisition is key for us, but researcher is the important for us to onboard. So creating brand is the first.
Any quick last question, anyone?
Yeah, I just have one statement to make. It's not clear to me which business verticals you're targeting, and maybe it's there in your 25, 30 slides, you didn't get to it. The world is a big place, okay? And again, it was not clear to me whether you're going to the biggest market. To me would have been United States. And my last input to you is go and look at two websites, Treacle and Neural Defend. Okay, they are IIT Kanpur startups. One is IIT Kanpur and one is started from MIT. Please do go and look at Treacle and Neural Defend. Okay,
Right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Devesh. Yeah. So we'll go to the next pitch for today, which is a Healthtech startup, Purplenet. Over to you, Bala.
Thank you, Girish.
Bala, good to be
Hope you.
seeing you again on a call. Welcome. This is Devesh.
Thanks a lot, Devish. I'm pleased to be here today in front of all of you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Balakrishnan, and I'm the founder of Purplenet.ai, and the product that I'm presenting today is Purple Health. It's really an infant. I started this just about 7 to 8 months back, and the idea is to redefine continuous healthcare. Very briefly about me, I have 27 years of experience in technology and management across multiple telecom network providers, network equipment providers, Siemens Communications, Nokia, Altiostar. Before I started Telestratum Networks in 2013, so that was my first startup. I'm a bootstrap tech entrepreneur. I built Telestratum Network from scratch to 1 million ARR over the last 5 years. And I pioneered telco API and machine learning in mobile networks. And my experience has always been at the intersection of products and technologies. I'm very passionate about making innovation work for better quality of life. Mentors, I'm a sole founder right now, and my mentors have been Girish and Rajesh, and Devesh, you, and Mr. Swami. So I have been talking to people who have been introduced to me via Girish and Rajesh, also Dr. Anand Padmanabhan. But no one on board as yet. As I said, it's a pretty young startup for me. I'm going to tell you a story today. This is a story of Mr. K, right? So Mr. K is diagnosed as a diabetic, and he is visiting a doctor. He goes to the hospital to get the first reports, and he gets told that you need to avoid sweets and sugar, walk 45 minutes a day, eat less, have medicines on time, keep pricking for taking your fasting and postprandial glucose once a week, and it's almost painless. Come back after 6 months. Now let's look at the Mr. K's timeline, what it looked like. On day one, he did these, visiting the primary care clinic, getting a prescription in a paper format for the medicines, diagnostic test. In that week, he visits the diagnostic center, goes to the hospital, gets the test done, and the report comes via WhatsApp or email. Then comes week 2, where the medicines, have to be changed. He has been diagnosed as diabetic, and the initial medicines that the doctor gave were not probably addressing the condition that was detected during the diagnosis. And same advice is being given to Mr. K, and now he's getting more information via paper reports from the diagnostic labs and mails and messages. A month passes. The first month is always the easier one, where you're strict on your diet, exercise, everything. But once the work starts in decades-old habits, die pretty hard. And changing lifestyle is very, very hard. And frequent pricks of the glucometer needles make people reduce the frequency. And in less than a year, Mr. K ends up reducing the monitoring. Some symptoms are back. Some side effects of medications show up. Visit to an endocrinologist, and more tests done, more medications, more reports, more data. And then from year 2, something sets in. So he gets to hear from a friend that there is something called the continuous glucose monitoring, and tries various health trackers, apps, more visits to doctor to understand what's happening, medications changed. And then the surprise is the insurance premium is hiked 3 times. Now, apps come with their own data, which are inside the mobile device, more reports, more messages, and so on. And then it proceeds. Then the realization sets in that even if a day of medicine is missed, the levels are back to day 1. So these medicines are not actually curing, but they are only controlling the symptoms. So he joins a reversal program, tries various exotic diets, LCHF, Mediterranean, keto, joins Pilates, does a lot of stuff, but ends up confused, because even after doing all these, the visits to the specialists, the medications have not changed. And the more he goes through it, less is the understanding of his own system. And this continues. And then Mr. K discovers the reality at this point of time that diabetes is a progressive disorder. It affects multiple organs over time, so it's not going to be the same from day 1 to year 1 to year 2 to year 10. CGM, frequent pricks, so they are part of the life. Constant change of medication, because there are certain type of medicines that work, some don't work, and the doctor keeps experimenting and then changing these without the results being shown very clearly. And the side effects begin to take shape, which basically creates a fear of insulin resistance, not going on insulin. And because of the side effects, visits to the cardiologist, the VO2 max going low, nephrologist, is there any problem with my kidneys? Ophthalmologist starts getting double vision, podiatrist, and so on. Quality of life suffers, and the reality sets in that reversal is very rare, and management is the only way to go with it. And now we'll reveal the identity of this Mr. K. It's none other than me. So I went through this for literally 21 years. I tried all the medications, all the solutions that are available in the market today. And after 21 years of being a diabetic, I felt that the system needs to change completely because it is not really helping me understand my own system, my own metabolic system. I'm one among the 100 million people in India who are diabetics, and 57 million who are going to be pushed into this very soon, being diagnosed as pre-diabetic. And I also fall in that sweet spot of the 2/3 of the people, the working age people in the 40 to 65 years category who have been long-term diabetics. The worst part is 30 to 40% are undiagnosed, which basically means that it's a bomb waiting to explode on the undiagnosed population. And the research, I've given a link in the footnote. The research states that the average expense per household is about $300 a year. But my experience is it is at least 5x that if you really want good care for diabetes and still face the problems that I have mentioned earlier. So this market is worth 22 billion in India alone. I have not taken the US numbers here. I'm only focused on the India market for this, though it will at least be about 5x this for sure. And the addressable market for digital diabetes management is about $2 billion in India. And in 2 to 3 years, I expect that with the solution that I have in mind, I will be able to get to about 50 million of that market conservatively. But is it just that Mr. K or me who has a problem here? So if I solve the problem for myself, will that really get resolved? Let's look at the healthcare system through the lens of a diabetic. So there are circles and circles and layers here in the healthcare system. There are primary care providers who we go to first, general practitioners, nurses. Then there are specialists, cardiologists, endocrinologists, nephrologists, oncologists, and so on. Then there are the allied health professionals, counselors, and dietitians. And then come the tertiary care providers, the hospitals and clinics and diagnostic centers. And then come the support systems with health insurance, digital platforms, and so on and so forth. Each one of them has a bunch of problems. And it's impossible to list all these down here, but I've tried as much as possible to list down what's actually the problem in each of these layers. A person like me, a data analyst, a trained machine learning engineer by profession, finds it very difficult to understand and model my own system because I do not know what is the interaction of the medicine, food, and my exercise patterns, and the time at which I take my medicine, the sleep, and so on and so forth, the stress levels. There's so many parameters, so many lifestyle parameters that come into place here.
Yeah, Bala, 1 minute left. I know you are early stage. In fact, Bala was reluctant to pitch also. But yeah, let's go to what are you looking for? There's a nice panel here. What are you looking for at this stage? I know funding is slightly far away, but what are you looking for, Bala? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So this is a broken model, and this is just a sample of what the doctor has to go through, to even figure out what kind of medicine could work on any of the patients and what are the side effects and so on. So I'll quickly introduce the solution. The solution is Purple Health. So Purple Health is a personal health assistant to diabetics like me, a decision support system to the doctors who I trust and visit, and a health management platform for the clinics and the hospitals. Personal health assistants are AI-driven. NLP have on-device gateway, so we take privacy very, very seriously. the decision support systems are domain expert LMs on their own. So we don't use the general purpose LMs created by the OpenAIs and Googles of the world, though we make use of them for adversarial AI. So the models are created completely from the user's data, which is what the other LLMs, the other models lack. So we integrate data from wearables, continuous glucose monitors, diagnostic reports, any data that you can, lay your hands on, and what we have seen so far. So anything which can be converted into a digital format will be used, and an individualized care plan will be provided for the person. So this is like someone living with me and taking care of me, knowing my activities, my food, my conditions, and then explaining to me what should work, what doesn't work, run simulations, and be very mindful about my own privacy. So not share the data right away with everyone, but only share the intelligence that is collected so that the collective intelligence is being put to use.
Yeah, Bala,
And
30 seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, you have to
And the
conclude.
network effects, once the network effects come in, the platform will be able to get much better. So the ask, multiple partners in the ecosystem, the clinics, the solution providers, everyone provides a value and then gets some benefit out of it. And the idea here is to have an AI-based system that is working with the person. The ask for the next 14 months is $2 million because this is a high-tech, deep-tech solution that we want to build. My current burn rate is about $28,000 to $30,000 a month. And most of this is going to be spent on product development. As I said, I'm at a very early stage, so nearly 45–50% is going to be spent on product development, tests and trials, and some kind of customer acquisition in the next 14 months, and then hosting and distribution. Administration charges are the regular ones. So the ask, I don't have a valuation yet. I'm not willing to put a valuation on this, though. For benchmarking purpose, I looked at similar solutions, but not identical ones, and how they are valued. SugarFit is the latest entrant into the market, valued at $66 million in India. Gluco is valued anywhere between 500 and 800, depending on the data that we get, and Beto is valued at 200 million. And these are all different. They all have different models. SugarFit is an end-to-end model, own devices, own doctors, trust me, and take my package. Gluco is a B2b model, so trust the hospital, get pushed from the hospital. Beto is a B2C model, and they're mostly into e-commerce marketplace for diabetic products and so on. What
Great.
sets Purple Health apart here is privacy, trust, and intelligence. No central cloud storage, no data sharing without content, which is guaranteed by protocols, which is one of the biggest problems that we face with centralized storage and data. And this is the only platform that will allow you to bring your doctor into the platform rather than trusting the doctor that is provided by the platform, and like how it is with Gluco and SugarFit. And in terms of intelligence, we are the only ones in the market today who plan to create a personalized model for each person on their own device at scale. So this is a decentralized federated learning model, which is not existing in any of the products that we have spoken so far. And this is a very good fit for disrupting primary and continuous healthcare systems in both India and the US.
Yes, we can pause here, Bala,
So,
and take questions. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Good,
sure.
good presentation, Bala. And you are improving with the requirements. Yeah, good. So, and thanks, Devesh. Bala is thankful to SARTHY because of you. So thanks for that. We're open for questions. Pritam, go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you, you and Devesh. So I just can't express that in words.
Yeah, Pritam, your question. Go ahead.
So, Bala, just a quick question. As you rightly mentioned, that awareness is often a big problem in both patients for you in the US and India as well. So, I know you didn't go over your marketing and GTM strategy, but how do you plan to touch base on that? Because that is going to be a pure driver for what you've built currently, right?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Preetham. So my primary partners are going to be the clinics and the doctors, though it's going to be sold to, it will also be available in the B2C space, but primarily via the clinics, because it comes from trust, it comes with trust. And in my roadmap, in my view, if you have to disrupt this whole system, which is broken, and we need to start thinking from first principles. The first question I ask is, why is there no network that is focusing on healthcare specifically? Why is healthcare data being put to run on normal systems that are carrying Netflix and Prime Video traffic, right? So there has to be a system which is working at the back end to basically enable healthcare for millions and millions of people, not just diabetes. It could be, there are various other COPD, CVD, any other kind of disease that we speak about. The focus is only on the reactive part. So if we have to move away from the reactive to the proactive one, we need to have different partners in the ecosystem coming together. And those will be my partners in this journey: the clinics, the network operators, the enterprise solution providers like Philips and GE, who are creating solutions which cannot share data with each other. Model providers that are excellent models coming out of different research institutes, but they are not able to work on this data because they need to rely only on publicly available data or synthetic data for privacy and regulatory reasons. So we address all those, and all these are my partners to take this product to the market.
Okay. If no one has a follow-up question, can I ask one more, Girish?
Go ahead, Peter.
So you mentioned that India has like a huge target market for this also, but out of the people who, let's say, the age group that gets a lot of diabetes in India, how many of them would actually be tech savvy and willing to use this product?
Excellent question. So so let me just go to that slide straight away here. So you see that around 65% of the people are in the 40 to 65 year bracket. And I myself am 49 years old. So I'm bang in the middle of this demographic. And I'm quite sure that this generation, so this set of people know how to use their mobiles, know how to work with the tracker apps, and what kind of questions to ask, how to basically express themselves to agents which are residing on their devices. So I do firmly believe that they are quite tech savvy. And the population below this 40, the 28 to 35, so that's even more tech savvy. So the bulk is residing there, and 65 plus, when you're diabetic, you're typically into curative care in the reactionary model, visiting the hospitals and so on. So the focus is basically on this segment of the population which is tech savvy and which will become even more tech savvy going forward.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Bala. Any quick last question? Anyone? No? So thanks, Bala, for this journey till now. Yeah, we'll just change gears now and we'll go to Qoruz, Pranesh. So Pranesh represents Qoruz, which has a 600K ARR, dollars from a creator platform. So yeah, Pranesh, you can share the screen and share the pitch. It's a 10-minute for pitch followed by 5 minutes of Q&A.
Sure.
Go ahead, Pranesh.
I'm going to time myself.
Sure. No, Shashwat will time you. And yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Sure. That's great. I'm just doing a screen share. Just give me a second.
Request the panel to rate in that sheet. If you have any challenges, you can DM me here or on WhatsApp to rate the startup. Do put your comments if you are scoring low. And of course, Team SARTHY also do rate it simultaneously so that your top of the mind thoughts or feedback is there on the sheet. Yeah, go ahead, Pranesh.
Sure, thanks. I'll start my presentation. To give a small background about me, I've been in digital marketing ever since the beginning of my career. Was like, started when Facebook entered India, subsequently saw how YouTube was adopted in India, Instagram, Twitter, etc. and all that. Like the major part of my career journey before Qoruz, what I was doing is basically I was helping brands figure out digital marketing strategies, basically capitalizing on any new trend which is coming around digital, and how do we convert that trends into solutions which brands will need for better reach, better outcomes, etc. and all that, right? And major part of it, I was tinkering around content. So naturally that led me on to start thinking creator economy as it starts booming. Prabhas, my co-founder / CTO, has worked with a couple of companies for building their MVPs. One of it went to even a $1 billion company, and then before it handed over the MVP to the founders. And I have a stable set of like mentors and like advisors along in my cap table as well, right? So we have had a history in terms of the company. We are one of the earliest companies which launched a influencer marketplace for brands. Later, we went and launched an enterprise grade software for brands to actually understand how to spend on influencers. We got picked up by Google, won multiple awards, and we are consistently generating revenue, and it's growing at a stable rate, right? So in our experience to understand the creator marketing in the influencer marketing space, we had three big realizations. One is like, you would be hearing a lot of news that like, creators are the next big thing. YouTubers are making more money. Some YouTubers are even making more money than Hollywood artists, etc. That. But the blunt reality is not all of them make money. The power law applies here as well. 2% of influencers, creators, YouTubers, and Instagrammers make the large chunk of the money. The long tail barely makes anything which is substantial enough, right? But if you just analyze this 2%, right, that in itself looks like almost like a professional economy, how professional economy used to exist before, right? The earnings of these professional influencers, the 2% influencers, is also consistently growing, and the number of professional creators is also drastically growing, right? And that is fueled by progressive, push by platforms like YouTube, Instagram, etc., and all that, like where they are also democratizing the process of creating content, and because of that, the creators are also getting much benefited, and then the overall growth in terms of creators as well. But the current systems which are supporting them are not actually up to the mark. One is because there are tools which are basically charging you before you actually start making money. For example, there's something called Linktree, and there is a zillion other companies like Linktree. What Linktree does is it helps you create an equivalent to a CV, and once you create that CV, you put up metrics like where are you present on YouTube, where are you present on Instagram, and then you start sending this out to brands saying that, hey, I'm I'm a creator. I'm looking for work, and then this is my profile, and then this thing. So the owners of distributing and then creating a network which can monetize for you or which can pay for you is completely on you, even after you pay for that platform. Second is a bunch of platforms which are which are typically work like agencies which is wrapped into an app. And some of these are very, very well funded, and in US as well. For example, PayPop is funded by Ashton Kutcher. Confluence is almost got backing of Nazara in India. Big Bang Social is backed by Reliance and all that. What these guys offer is basically, let's say if these guys get a client or get a brand request, they pass it on to the creator via the app, right? Again, the same problem exists. You don't have openness in terms of building a network which can actually help you give money, right? So basically, two problems. One is stability in terms of income. Second is independence is missing in both the models. So we were looking at how this was happening before LinkedIn came, and the closest examples was Monster versus LinkedIn, right? Before LinkedIn existed, you as a professional, you create a profile on Monster and you wait for the HR to actually give you a call to get a job, right? Once LinkedIn came into picture, what you can now do is you can actually create a profile, start connecting with the right folks who can potentially give you a job, which means that you're always having your own network, which again means that your liquidity or mobility in terms of the job market is faster, which means that it's easier for you to find a job. It's easier for you to actually have a bunch of option B, option C, which means that your earnings can increase drastically and you're not sticking onto one company forever. We were thinking of the same thing for creators and influencers basically, and the idea is to move from a chaotic, opaque environment into an open environment, and we are calling it Hashframe, right? The idea is to put creators and influencers at the center of the network and bring together anybody who is having economic or business-based utility for a creator, who can either give them work or actually open up doors for other people. For example, it can be a talent manager who can connect you with brands. It can be an agency who can actually give work from any of the client partners, or maybe even direct brands who are giving work, right? And we, apparently it's a chicken egg kind of a problem. We already launched one side of the platform. We did what exactly Zomato did, creators can come and list themselves, and then like brands can actually start finding them, directly getting in touch. And currently, we are beta kind of a platform. We are not given access to every brands, and we have close to about like 8,000 brands so far, and we are like have somewhere around 72,000 odd creators who we have onboarded. And every single month we are making around about 35,000 business connections, which means that like every single brand is actually giving a minimum of 4 to 5 gigs to any of these creators who are present on Hashpin. I mean, and there are like the drift is very similar to what LinkedIn has done. You create a profile, you see who's actually watching you, you understand who's the right person who you should be connecting with. You start applying for open jobs which are available, and you actually connect with an extended network of people who can actually help you in terms of growing either professionally, which is money wise, or maybe even connect with other people like photographers, videographers, whoever you can need for growing your content journey, right? And obviously, yeah, I mean, like we have visibly seen creators, and we studied close to about like 300 creators more closely who are present on Hashpin. And we realized that like, no, that obviously gave birth to more mobility for creators, right? Like how I mentioned that like, LinkedIn actually opened up more doors for professionals. Hashfame started to do that for creators who are present on Hashfame already, right? And obviously, like, when more brands are reaching out to you, which means that like you have a higher authority to actually negotiate better, you have higher revenue power, basically, right? So that's something which we are visibly actually observing for Hashpay. Ideas to start with the core network and build out every other collaborator. We already started like bringing talent managers on board, and pretty much every top talent management company which you can think of, for example, Yashraj or Dharma Cornerstone or Rana Jagupati's South Bay, all of these guys are present on Hashpay already, right? And we already have close to about like 600 to 700 ancillary professionals like UGC creators, photographers, videographers who are leveraging Hashpay for work. Yeah, so that is the creator side product. The creator side product is like, we still yet to monetize, but we already have deployed the brand side product, and we are probably the largest in terms of like, both in terms of technology and in terms of like scale in India. And we are like, all the brand logos which you see are like current clients of like Qoruz. The brand side platform is called Qoruz, and we are roughly doing around about like last year we did around about 50 crore of revenue between SaaS and marketplace models. Now, what the SaaS model offers is the SaaS model gives directional inputs in terms of which is the creator you should be working with, answering as simple as like how is the creator doing, how is the influencer performing, what is the predicted outcome when you're working with the creator, and more complex questions like how are your competitors actually performing, what is the gaps in the market, what kind of content can work for you versus somebody else, etc., and all that. The marketplace is fairly simple. Let's say if you have a very small team, you don't have time to analyze a lot of things, you just want the work to be done. We work like a managed marketplace model, and we are actually serving close to about like 110 odd customers like that way. We are fully enterprise focused currently. We are not going mid-market or semi-SaaS for now. And 6 out of top 10 media corporations are already using Qoruz for their planning. The likes of Omnicom, FCB, Publicis Group, IPG, Mindshare, which is a part of WPP, right? Where we are powering the decision-making stack in terms of what kind of influencer you should be working with, and is there a better person, etc., and all that is guided via Qoruz system. The idea is to build a connected system where Hashfame becomes the creator side and Qoruz becomes the brand side. And we leverage the data effects between both Hashfame and Qoruz together to ensure that like, both we are able to get behavioral insights and also performance insights. When I say behavioral insights, who's trending today? Is the creator is the influencer even available to do a shoot immediately? Or is the influencer charging how much, etc., and all that? Performance insights like what is the average outcome of a creator, how much is the cost per view of a particular video posted by a creator, etc., and all that, and then create a continuous feedback loop between both the systems.
Yeah, Pranish, you have to conclude, yeah? So
yeah, almost done. So the idea is to start with the creators market, and the same problem of like liquidity and also opaqueness exists across freelance market, media buying market, and also talent. And events market, and we are like leveraging one circle after other, just thus expanding the market size eventually, starting with the creator and slash influencer market. Yeah, I mean, like we are already funded. I mean, like, we've been through 2 rounds of funding. One was in 2020, mid of 2023, and another was like a pretty recent actually by Chennai Angels. We are trying to raise our Series A round right now. The major of the money is going into tech and marketing and other ancillary things, right? Yeah, so the idea is to become a super app for anything for creators. What we want to do is like, a guy who actually graduates from college immediately starts creating a LinkedIn profile. Similarly, anybody, any kid who wants to become a professional creator, we are trying to be the home for professional creators, starting with giving them work, maybe even extending more services like financial services, insurance, connecting them with capital, connecting them with larger network, etc., and all that. That's the overall goal which we have.
Good. Thanks. Thanks, Pranish. Yeah, we're open for questions. Yeah, actually, the folks who are asking questions are waiting for others to ask first, because I know everybody has questions. Yeah.
I'm going to hold off, Girish. I've already asked.
I know
think
that.
other people should.
I know that. So any more questions? Otherwise, of course, Devesh, Rishikesh, everyone has a lot of questions.
Girish, mind if I ask a few
All I'll
questions
say is
to
I love any competition for LinkedIn. I don't like LinkedIn, although I use it a lot.
Not
So
really
this is very
LinkedIn.
promising.
This is not LinkedIn, actually. It's a subset of LinkedIn now. Yeah.
So what is
So
your
now,
So
competition?
that's what I said. Any competition to LinkedIn is good.
yeah, true.
I mean, as he mentioned last, you just start with the creators
Yes,
and
and
influencers,
go
and then you
vertical
can
to it.
expand it to others.
Great. Yeah, Giridhar, you had something?
Please,
Giridhar.
what is the competition?
So, Mr. Gideon, currently we are competing with enterprise softwares like Qoruz itself, right? I mean, like a couple of them actually had large exits also in the last couple of months. These are like, payment gateway kind of models where you pay up anywhere between $50,000 to $100,000 to start discovering creators and using creators. There has not been many SMB kind of $10 tools or maybe even freemium tools. That's the only competition which I face. Otherwise, large agencies.
Okay. No, so that's currently, but is there anybody who are people who are building similar products? What is the emerging competition? You have any idea? Because you probably
There
have
are some
advantage.
early.
Yeah.
So there are some early players actually, but I've not seen somebody substantial enough. There is a player, for example, there's a player called Cofluence, which is funded by, I mean, like Nikhil Kamath, Nazara, and all that. There is another company called One Impression, which is funded by Crafton in this part of the world. Other people are like, in the very early stages, like 5 to 10 people companies.
Any last questions, anyone? Yeah, Devesh, you have a question?
Yeah, Pranish, firstly, very crisp presentation. Yeah, well done. Your 55 crore is GMV. What's your NMV?
Yeah, so 50 out of 55 crores, like 51 and a half is GMV. Around 3 and a half. Actually, 3 and a half is like SaaS.
So are you EBITDA positive? Because you've been 10 years now at this.
Major part of the journey, yes. Once we raised funding in the last round, we started burning money to actually bring on board experts in GTM. We again, on a quarterly basis, like, we started turning EBITDA positive.
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, one last one, Girish, if I may. Hey, Pranesh, good presentation. Anything that you can say how AI is going to change in the next 3 years, whatever you are building and the creators, everything. What AI has a role and how you are going to leverage it?
Very good question. I keep getting asked a lot about this, actually. So AI is currently, at least what I visibly see, is solving the problem of content creation, right? I mean, like, I mean, if it was difficult to shoot a video or if difficult to edit the good parts and then put together a video, AI is actually solving for it currently, right? To be very, very frank, the same power law applies even if the creators, like if A is there or not, because like the backend is creativity. The backend is also understanding what works, what doesn't work for a creator. Is it disrupting? Yes, it is disrupting the process of content creation. Is it still disrupting the networking for these creators, mobility of these creators? Currently, no. Right. I mean, like end of the day, what we have to also understand about creators, which is very interesting, is they are introverts, right? Give them 20 phone numbers, they will not call. they will like, while it looks different that like, hey guys, and all that, the only thing which they keep interacting is with the camera, right? So even if you give them tools, it doesn't help actually to actually increase their network, etc. and all that. Giving them exact leads saying that, hey, talk to him, there is a 90% chance that like your request will get converted or you'll get a work, that will probably nudge them to actually say a hi, right? AI has less role to play there because it is more market signals. Who's the guy who's like can give work? What is the history of this guy of giving work, etc. on the other side, which can signal a creator saying that I should connect with this guy.
Yeah, okay. So we'll have to pause, Pranish. We'll do the assessment also. So thanks for the pitch. Yeah, we'll go to the next pitch now, which is again a deep tech startup, Trinano. Dr. Harsh, over to you. You can share your screen and share about Trinano.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Harsh.
All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah, my name is Harsh Sethi. I'm a materials engineer by profession and PhD. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Trinano Technologies. We are a private limited company based out of Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. We are incubated by Sine IIT Bombay, and we are also endorsed by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy as a made in India innovation for improvement of power output of solar panel. So with our nano coating, we increase the revenue by increasing the power output of solar panel by about 3 to 4%. We reduce the operating expenses by reducing the cleaning frequency and use of water by cleaning by around 40 to 50%. And we reduce the investment cost by reducing cell temperature, which in turn reduces the degradation of the panel. And this we do for any and every panel, irrespective of its type, age, brand, location. So when we talk of solar panel, normally any manufacturer, whether they are based in China, India, Southeast Asia, or the Western world, they talk about theoretical efficiency of the panels being 20-22%. Theoretical or the efficiency under standard test conditions means sun rays has to be 90 degrees to the panel and the temperature has to be 25 degrees, among other criteria. Now sun moves from east to west, which means every 4 minutes it changes its angle by 1 degree and temperature does not remain 25 degrees centigrade throughout. So under normal conditions, the efficiency is just about 15 to 18% only. And then as you see in the central picture, it gets further affected because of dust, oil, grime, watermarks, shadows, tree leaves, etc. And therefore you need regular maintenance and cleaning to maintain the optimum output, which is a recurring cost. And third issue is just like batteries degrade, solar panel also degrade. So normally panel manufacturers write about 0.75% per year degradation, but in Indian conditions, it's just around 1.25 to 1.5%, which means after 15 years, you may have to replace the panel, which becomes a big investment cost. So we have created a patented solid state nano coating made of inorganic ceramic oxide material applied by electrodeposition process with 3 main properties: light trapping, self-cleaning, and anti-reflection. The way we do the coating, it's based on very simple principles of physics. First is increasing the surface area. Normally, solar panel have glass on the top and it is reflective. So by creating a structure which is similar to Amazon raintree forest or a very dense bamboo tree forest, we don't allow the light to be reflected. When light falls on it, it gets refracted. Now, since we are talking of thicknesses 0.3, 0.4 micron, it's thinner than here. The light which is refracted or trapped here is passed on to underneath solar cells. And they could be any make, any brand, any age, any type, any location. When they get more light, they generate more power or more energy. Secondly, if you look at the tip of this microstructure, which is a rod type, but very pointed at the tip, we increase the surface tension. Solar panels are normally at an angle of 14 to 18 degree, and therefore with the high surface tension, whatever is falling on the coated surface, they don't stick, they don't flatten out. They tend to roll off because of the gravity. So cleaning is easy, cleaning frequency is reduced, and use of water is very much reduced. So these are the two principles. The way we do the coating is basically very simple, plug and play. We can do coating anywhere. We just need 220-volt power supply and a clean surface. No clean room, no inert atmosphere, no special HVAC conditions, no heating, no baking, no surface treatment or any chemical treatment. And once the panels are coated, you can immediately put them in service and start generating electricity. So there is no curing even. We have got the patent granted in India. We have registered in PCT countries, and for US and EU market, we have applied for a separate national patent because of our plans for expansion there. So this is something which is tested at NABL approved, government approved labs at NCPRE IIT Bombay, and similar one was done at NICE National Institute of Solar Energy in Delhi, and this has been going on since August 22. So you can see that the red coated one has got a higher power output than the black coated one, uncoated one, and blue is the solar irradiance, which is 12 at 12 noon it is the highest. And on the right side you can see the black coated one has got a lower temperature than the black uncoated one. Green is the ambient temperature and blue is the temperature difference between non-coated and coated. I can share the results if you wish later on. Revenue model is again very simple. We work with panel manufacturers, solar panel manufacturers and glass manufacturers, where we will do the coating on the glass surface which they buy from their vendors, and that coated glass is then used in their panel assembly line, and we take up the space in their warehouse or a shed nearby. Second vertical, business vertical, is working with the IPP, independent power producers, or utility scale solar farms, or big grid connected solar farms, where we'll take the equipment over there and do the coating at site. And third is if wherever the markets we are not present, we'll license our technology and work with distributors and partners. For example, in US or Europe, we'll work with partners, and also we'll provide after sales service. So this is about a competitive landscape. There is a study published by IIT Gandhinagar and Deen Dayal Upadhyaya University, who are doing quite a major work in solar. And they have compared about 85 to 90 different coatings across the world, in which they have compared UK, India, Portugal, Singapore, US, Japan, etc. And they summarize that most of these coatings are liquid coatings, get washed off during rainy season, or they are organic coatings and they tend to decompose and deteriorate. So lifespan is just about 3 months to 14 months max, which means in a year you have to do multiple times coating or at least once a year. In India, these coatings with the operation maintenance expense roughly cost you about 25 to 30 lakh per megawatt per year. In comparison, our coating has been tested at IIT Bombay for 12-year life cycle, and in the field it has been going for more than 6 years, and our coating charges are 10 lakh rupees per megawatt. So therefore it comes to around 1.67 lakh annualized cost of coating per year per megawatt. Besides, we increase the power output from day one. The coating can be applied on new panels as well as old existing panels. These coatings can only be done on existing panels only. They don't do it on new panels. And third, we increase the life by reducing the cell temperature and reducing the degradation. So these are the few distinguishing factors. As far as United Nations sustainability goals, we follow 6, 7, 9, 11, 13, and 17. If we compare the data for 100 megawatt plant from MIT, we reduce water consumption in cleaning cycle by as much as 55%. We reduce carbon emission by 5.2%. And for a similar output of 100 megawatt plant, we reduce the land usage by 7.6%. Go-to-market strategy, as far as India market is concerned, it's very big. Right now, 45 gigawatt is manufacturing capacity per year, installed capacity of 90 gigawatt, which is going to go up to about 200 gigawatt per year manufacturing and 600 gigawatt of installed capacity. So India market itself is going to be big, around 8 billion. But if we take into consideration US, Europe, Middle East, so it's a very, very big market. And we are looking at let's say only India is around $8 billion market. I've been in industry for more than 15 years. So there are personal contacts and we get customer referrals. We have our own sales team and we engage with customers through events, conferences, exhibitions, and shows and direct contacts. So these are some of the projects we have done with the brand names. You can see multiple projects, small scale and total about 2 megawatt. And some of them have also given us customer testimonial. Some of them are by NDA, we can't share the data, but some I'm sharing. Nice, RenCube, NCPRE, rooftop solar, and also from Solar Square, which is IIT Bombay alum. So these are, as I said, we have been endorsed by Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. So you can see, can you see my screen? Government of India, MNRE website, Trinano solar panel. Can you see my website? Can you
Yes,
see?
we can. Yes, we
Yeah.
can see. Yeah.
So there is a paper published about us, eco-friendly Indian startup, 7 to 8% gain testing at NCPRE, IIT Bombay, NICE, and eco-friendly waste-free technique and all. We have also an MOU with NCPRE, IIT Bombay, and NICE for doing joint research work on new cell technology and coating uses. Spectrum Impact is our investor partner. I'll explain later. These brand names I've already explained. So we were incorporated in January 2022. First year revenue was just about 1 lakh rupees. 23, 24, the revenue was 9.5 lakh rupees. And financial year 24-25, ending 31st March 2025, the revenue has been 95 lakh rupees. All these companies are looking for bigger engagements, but the constraint is our capacity. So currently in 2023, we were doing around 2 panels a day, and we had 2 machines, so 4 panels, just about 2 megawatt, and it was very manual. We are doing panel by panel coating. One panel was finished, then we used to move our machine to the second and doing the coating. Then we designed this second in the center machine, and we could do it much faster. So we changed the header to cover the whole width and move along the length. So we could do in 1 hour, 20 minutes and 7 megawatt with this machine. But the idea of the customer is to do even faster. So we want to build automated robotic machine where with one machine we can do 44 megawatt per machine per year, and it can be incorporated in the panel manufacturing line at a glass loading station where instead of a normal glass, they will change it to a coated glass. So we have already got an investment from leading climate tech investor, Spectrum Impact, family office of Aarti Industries listed company. They have invested $387,000 just this January end. We are looking for further investment of 7.4 crore, which will be used for automated robotic machines to scale up and to build a capacity of about 260, 280 megawatt a year. And some amount will be used for testing premises and certification registration. So the idea is that if any investor, if he invests in 7.4 crore, then on a yearly basis, we will get a revenue first year will be 20 crores. And then gradually we will be profitable and we can fund back the amount of profit back into company and scale up, looking for more machines and scale up. Or we can go for debt financing. The first project we are looking for equity investment. And for a customer who is using our coating, so he'll be paying 500 rupees per 540 watt panel, or around 10 lakh rupees per megawatt, $12,500 per megawatt, or 23 rupees per square foot if it is a glass sheet. So he can get 3.3 to 4% increase in power, reduction in cleaning frequency by 40 to 50%, cell temperature lower by 2 to 3 degrees, life extension by 2 to 3 years, and then carbon emissions down by 5.2%. So overall a 10% increase in performance ratio. So with that, we assume that, let's say if we get the money in about August, then we would need about 3 to 3.5 months to make the machine. And starting this year, a revenue of 10 crore, gradually moving up to cater to a market of 20 gigawatt. In India, the demand by 2030 will be around 800 gigawatt. We are just looking at a fraction of that as a premium segment. And with that, we can achieve a revenue of $250 million. And then there are overseas market which we can capture. So with that, we assume any investor or shareholder who's coming to us, he can get an IRR of about 38 to 40%. And if they are looking for an exit, then in 5 years, SME IPO would be an exit of 15x, or any strategic partner companies like who are panel manufacturers or IPP, independent power producers, they would like to book our capacity and they may buy their stakes. This is the team.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to conclude in 30 seconds, doctor. So I
Yeah.
know it's a good presentation. Yeah.
Dr. Mrs. Anshu Dandia, myself, I'm a serial entrepreneur, first generation entrepreneur. Dr. Mrs. Anshu Dandia is fellow of Royal Society of London, also awarded by President of India. Dr. Tanujal Bora, 15 years of experience. So total team has got 50 years of experience in green chemistry, nanotechnology, thin films and energy. We have won multiple awards nationally and internationally. Prominent among them from Ministry of Power, Best Startup in Energy Efficiency, World Decarbonization Challenge in Paris, Low Carbon Earth Program in Bangkok. And then we were also Maharati Award at Startup Mahakumbh recently in climate tech sector. We have been listed in top 100 Indian startup in Forbes magazine. So that's all about Trinano. Let me know if any questions.
Yeah, we'll have questions, Dr. Harsh. Thanks for the wonderful presentation. Yeah, we're open for questions. Yeah, Rishikesh, anyone questions?
So,
Yeah, sir,
you plan to you're not looking to since scaling up your technology is requiring a lot of investment in manufacturing. You are not looking at partnering with any of the major companies in this sector. You would like to do the coating yourself.
So material
scale up faster. Yeah.
Yeah, we have been approached by a couple of big names, and their intention has been either they want an exclusive partnership for 15 to 20 years. We were ready to give them 3 to 4 years, first mover advantage, but they wanted 15 to 20 years. Other company was interested in buying us out. So we didn't go for it. Idea is that first project, if we can raise equity and do it ourselves, then the next project, any other customer would be willing to come to us, and we can get debt financing, we can get advance from them. So we are not into manufacturing of machines, we are into material. Machines, we get it done from vendors.
Debt financing, you should be able to get now. You already got investments, right?
Would you be able to get debt financing now only to set up your plant for 5 machines? I'm sure you will get that.
Yes.
Ma'am, sir, I have checked debt financing. We don't have the machine as yet. It is to be developed. Banks give debt financing only on collateral, and VCs or any NBFC, if they give debt financing, the interest rates are very high. So that didn't appeal to us. We thought that with the first order, we can establish our credentials in the market, and then the other customers would definitely follow, and then we can have our terms for financing.
Any questions on the technology or any counters on the technology globally? Devesh, you forwarded me a link also. I don't know whether that's relevant. Yeah, but any questions on the technology?
Dr. Harsh, I have just one question. Does this also work on the floating solar panels?
Yes, it works on floating solar, but you have to take them to the ground. I mean, to the shore where we'll do the coating and then push it out. We have done one such project for Ayana Power, which was in Hanagal, Andhra Pradesh.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Devesh.
Yeah, I'll go quickly. Firstly, Dr. Harsh, fabulous presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I've sent a video of what I've done on YouTube. I have a solar panel in my garden upstairs in the roof. I generate 29 kilowatt hour every day. Okay. So my first question, and if you can go back to the go to market slide that you had four quadrants there.
Yeah.
Are you open for tech licensing on a white label basis, or do you want your blue label?
No, we are open. 1 second, let me come to the present.
Yeah.
So
please go back to that slide. That's a very interesting slide.
Yeah.
No, go.
This one, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So number one, tech licensing, is that blue label or white label?
Not yet established, sir, because right now the people, we are talking to big companies because India market is very big. So we are talking to big EPCs and O&M, and the concern is about our IP, and therefore it's now under legal discussions of an agreement, how to frame it up so that our IP is protected. So we have been talking to Mahindra Sustain. We have been talking to a couple of other companies who are very big in India for EPC and O&M space.
Okay, so that's a good answer. You don't have to have all the answers on this call. So I respect your, absolutely, that's fine with me. But you did not have time to spend on after sales, that last box, you just skipped that.
Yeah.
I would, if you are going B2B, then that
Yeah.
last box could distract you into B2C. What is your POV on this? Are you going to stay B2B or we go to B2C also?
Right now, I mean, our team is very small. We are just 12 people, and total 16 out of that 12 are full-time, 4 are part-time. So right now we are not looking at B2C unless we establish ourselves and we have partners, then probably we would look at B2C, but we will do it only through partners. So we have worked with Solar Square, who is in B2C. We have also worked with Chemitech, which is B2C, and therefore we will work with them. Not directly as such,
Okay,
but we have done some projects, EPC, total turnkey projects on rooftop solar for some of the clients to get a feel what are the challenges in that sector.
Okay, I think that's an excellent answer, and I would urge you to stay B2B. B2C can be very distracting, so
Yes,
that would be my advice to you. And I'm very happy to introduce you to Hemant Sharma, who's the CEO of EcoSearch, who installed my solar panel.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah, one point only. The only point I want to make, and I'll keep quiet after this, is once the solar panel gets sold, okay,
Yeah.
if you try and go and do the coating there, there's a warranty issue here. If you go and touch something there and the warranty gets expired,
Yeah.
you're going to have an annoyed B2C customer, and the B2B intermediary may not touch that again. So just think about all those issues.
So,
Thank you.
sir, to answer that, actually, we have been working with a couple of panel manufacturers. So companies like Vari, Orb Energy, Contender, some of them can provide you coated panel with the warranty. Like if you have a new project, then you can get coated panel from them. For the existing one, we have to prove. So what we do is we ask them that can they take a risk of, let's say, 100, 200 panels. Out of that, we will do 50% coating, 50% we don't coat, and they install it back and they monitor. We are doing on the glass. We don't touch the cell. We have got approvals from NABL, government approved labs like NCPRE, NICE, and IIT Bombay, which shows that there's nothing to the cell. But again, I mean, some manufacturers, they take it as a concern. So we have to address that, jointly discuss with the plant owner or the solar owner, and then the supplier, manufacturing company, and ourselves, and explain them how the technology works. So it has to be something like educating them that this does not affect the cell at all. We are doing on the top surface, which is glass.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Rosh, and good presentation again. Yeah, we'll go to the next presentation now. We've got 4 more pitches to go. So thanks for your patience, the panel. Yeah, Bala, you want to say something?
Yeah, just one question. Sorry, if I may just ask Harsh, just out of curiosity.
Sure.
Dr. Harsh, you said that the robotic machine is not available. And do you intend to build it, or do you look for partners who will be providing you those robotic machines?
So we have been working, sir, with the IIT Bombay and IIT Chennai. We have identified some vendors. We are working on a hub and spoke model. We are not building ourselves. We have given them our requirements. So we have mechanical movement. There are some vendors, electrical, electronic, which is the hub, because we use high voltage sparking system. There are some vendors,
Right.
embedded system, somebody, then software our part is assembly and nanomaterials.
Thank you, Dr. Harsh.
Yeah, we'll go to the next presentation, which is Daakit. Yeah, Chandan, so Chandan is from logistics, and yeah, I will do that, Devesh. Yeah, go ahead, Chandan. You unmute yourself and share your presentation.
Sure. Let me quickly present my screen, and do let me know once it's up. Just
Yeah.
1 minute.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Chandan.
One. Hello. All right. Should we start?
Yes.
Cool. Hey. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Chandan Singh Gugatiyal. I'm a founder and CEO of Daakit Technologies. So Daakit is with a thought of empowering D2C brands and a small and mid-sized sellers so that they can offer a lightning fast delivery option. in a way, a level playing field for them to offer faster delivery from their own website. And what we see currently, a lot of D2C brand, when they generally start their journey of selling online. So it's a journey of online, offline, or digital first brands. What exactly happened that, and which is the primary reason why they rely heavily on a marketplace like Amazon, Flipkart, and then nowadays, dependency on Blinkit, Zepto, and Instamart is a problem of delivering the experience to their end consumer. So even if they do it, the problem currently, why they're not able to focus more and more on their website, is a delivery timeline from their website to their end consumer, because the customers are coming from everywhere. The orders are coming from not only metros but from tier 2, tier 3, tier and the countryside, wherein it is taking 4 to 8 days of delivery time, and that's what the experience goes for a toss. Second, even if they are able to get the customers on their website by any chance with marketing arrangements and other thought to it, that what exactly happened, that the moment customer reaches to the checkout page, which is the last page to complete the order purchase, that as soon as the customer sees there's a delay in the delivery timeline, and that's where the cart abandonment happens. And what exactly happened in our own behavior after COVID? So after COVID, our own preference as a consumer has changed. If I talk about my own behavior and what I see in my own family and the people that I generally talk to, that as a consumer, we generally prefer to pay more, 4 or 5 rupees or even 10 rupees in some extent, to get a faster delivery. And this is what exactly reported by PCW in their recent survey, that 88% of the consumer or the people are preferring paying more to get a faster delivery to their end consumer. And this is what the D2C brand has to meet this expectation to stay competitive as they scale and as they want to go beyond from their regional to a national reach. What exactly happened? That currently these D2C brand, it is not that they do not have an option. They have an option, but in hyperlocal, they have porter kind of arrangement. They have Borzo, which is expensive, but not, but very limited for their ad hoc demand and ad hoc requirement. There are companies like Delivery, Blue Dart, and DTDC. But these are typical 3PL core companies or a logistic first company, wherein the primary focus is on delivering the item. And they even get paid even if the item doesn't get delivered. And that's what for a lot of D2C brands and a lot of e-commerce brands, they report that the core companies, they don't pay attention, they don't take ownership. And even if they do it, it takes 2 to 3 days of timeline for the item to get delivered. So here in Daakit, what we are doing, we have a technology first approach. We're a tech-based company in supply chain. We're trying to solve this holistically. We look at it from a hub and spoke model, wherein we are keeping the inventory near to the customer. What we do, that we have warehouses pan India. We already have 4 warehouses in India. So one is in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata. These are the hub centers for us, wherein we keep the inventory. So by keeping the inventory in these places, immediately what happened, that the seller's inventory is decentralized, and we are eventually at the near to the customer place. So we are more we have reached to the demand center. Second, what we do, since we are already reached to near to the customer, now the seller can immediately offer a same day delivery and next day delivery. So now they have a level playing field. Let's take an example. My favorite coffee brand is Sleepy Owl, and I prefer placing an order and consuming that coffee every day. So I will generally go to Amazon, Flipkart, and buy that item because Amazon delivers 1 day or 2 day. And at the same time, by paying more as a customer, paying 5 rupees premium or 10 rupees premium, I'll get it instantly. But the website does not have that preference to it. So what Daakit is doing it for them, that at the one side, they can handle the demand because they're good at maintaining demand and increasing revenue and finding new LOBs for them. At the same time, what Daakit is trying to do is handle and take care of the entire supply chain for them, including warehousing plus logistics. So it is complete ownership of their supply network, wherein infrastructure, warehousing, logistic, and a last mile experience is on us. And so this is a FBA kind of experience, or Amazon fulfillment by Amazon kind of experience that we are going to give it to the D2C brand so that they can also offer same day delivery, next day delivery to their customers. What exactly will happen the moment these items are near to their customer? So let's take an example. I'm a seller who's there in Delhi and my consumer is in Kolkata. So there's no point of delivering your item all the way from Delhi to Kolkata. It could be okay to initially for a couple of months, initially when you are exploring and when you do not have enough volume, it is okay to do it all the way from Delhi to Mumbai because there's a cost and a timeline associated to it. But as you scale, as the brand gets more and more order and more trust on their website, and the consumers are repetitive in nature, it makes sense for them to be near to the customer. What exactly will happen the moment they are there in Kolkata? Their overall logistic costs or overall supply chain costs will drastically dip by 20 to 25%, because now it is not a rest of India kind of arrangement or a longer delivery arrangement. It is a zone A, zone B delivery. And ultimately, this will lead to a decrease in their timeline or SLA from 5 days to same day or next day. And the other benefit that which are invisible in the initial days, but later on there's a bigger advantage to a brand, is a lesser RTO. Because now you're not giving a time to your customer to think about changing a mind. Now, as a consumer behavior, what exactly happened? Most of the time, we do not even know there is an order that we have placed on Amazon, Flipkart, and there's a delivery which is expected to come because you're now delivering in 1 day or 2 days. So there's a lesser chances for a customer to forget about delivery and refusing the delivery or saying that we do not need it now. And second, there's an improved NPS score because now you are equally good or equally delivering the same kind of experience as Amazon, Flipkart were doing it. So we're looking at this quick commerce growth wherein there are 3 million plus orders float in last mile delivery every day for D2C brand. So we're talking about D2C brand and small enterprises, wherein Lenskart is there, your Head and Tails is there, Nykaa, Healthcart, Kind Life, Nykaa, and Krishna Ayurved. These are the D2C brands that they're primarily focusing on because this is something which is a growing segment in itself, and a lot of digital first brands are coming from the same segment. So this is something that we are keenly focusing on to build our business further. We're already into a revenue generation stage. So I started it in January 2024. We generated 1 crore 13 lakh rupees of a net revenue by now. And our majority of our revenue comes from fulfillment and delivery and the logistic delivery. We also do some value-added services because I handle a fulfillment, which is a warehousing activity wherein picking, packing happens. So a lot of time we do a custom packing or a gift packing or a return management of and other activities. So there's also a 3.5% of our revenue. We built a tech stack. So we have proprietary tech stack, 2 tech stack built in. One is a courier aggregation platform wherein there is already integration with 10 plus courier companies with us. We're also thinking about launching our own fleet, wherein we'll have a better controlling and better SLA to be given to our sellers. And we also have a WMS, which is a warehouse management system, wherein if a seller keeps inventory at multiple locations with us, Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, within a click of a button, they'll be able to see and monitor the inventory health and the high selling SKUs, the worth of the inventory, and which of the inventory is getting expired and which has a FIFO kind of arrangement to it. They'll be able to see everything from there. As I mentioned, we already generated the revenue. We have seen there's a 20% gross margin to it. And last year itself, which was our first financial year for us, we did 6 to 7% of our EBITDA in our revenue. We're currently in Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Kolkata, but keenly looking at tier 2, tier 3. So opening up 4 more centers. Lucknow is going to start by 10th of June. We already have 2 customers to go live in Kolkata for warehousing. Ahmedabad, Guwahati, Chennai, these are the couple of more locations that will go live in a couple of months, since we already have a volume from an existing client and a couple of new clients for tier 2, tier 3 location, wherein it will be completely end-to-end kind of arrangement, wherein Daakit will be taking care of the warehousing plus the last mile delivery for them. They're
Chandan,
already
you have to conclude quickly. Yeah, you have to conclude.
Sure,
quickly.
sure.
Yeah. You can
So-
share the comparative because that comparative is critical. There are so many players in logistics. Yeah.
Perfect,
including-
perfect. So there are a lot of players. So there are some direct players and indirect players to it. We have smartly identified a sweet spot, which is a quick commerce delivery and a same day kind of delivery, wherein warehousing and logistic comes combined. And this is something which is we're looking at. We're creating a more towards technology, which is a defensibility. Second is tier 2, tier 3 penetration to it. Every fulfillment center that we are opening up as Lucknow and Ahmedabad as an example, that will become a node. That will become a node to go more deeper into last mile delivery. And tomorrow, the competition that I'm showing here, tomorrow we could be enabler for them. They might use
So you
our
have a hub
services.
and spoke model in every city. So Lucknow will have a hub and it will have say 10 odd spokes to deliver 10 minutes.
Absolutely right. So a hub would be at an outer region to it, and spokes will be, let's say, heart of the city and couple of other centers, which will connect the entire same day delivery, next day delivery.
Both will have stock. Both hub and spoke will have inventory.
Yes. So deeper inventory and the depth of the inventory will always be in hub, and the hero product will always be positioned to the spoke. And this entire algorithm, inventory health and inventory management and replenishment, is something that we wanted to do it. So we are building a model wherein the inventory replenishment and inventory forecasting and positioning will be done by Daakit for D2C brand, so that they can monetize better, and by only focusing on the high selling SKUs with us in our spoke centers. So we already have a mentor with us. We are a completely bootstrap, but Sanjay ji has recently joined us as a advisor mentor. He's an ex Paytm Payment Bank CTO. We have a tech team. So we recently, so Nitin and Deep has built it. We already have a team of 6 people to it. So 3 technology and 3 guys into operations and sales. I have got a domain expertise. I've been with Picker Shiprocket as an aggregator, wherein I got an understanding about this entire ecosystem, and also got an opportunity to work with Flipkart, wherein I got an understanding about entire seller experience and the segment that we are building it. So
let's look at the fundraise part only, and then we'll go for Q&A. Yeah.
Sure. So since we generated a revenue, now we're seeking interest from investors to join in. We are already incubated with IIM Lucknow and NASSCOM. So IIM Lucknow is interested to put in the initial check to it. We are also in discussion with a couple of AIF fund, wherein there's a soft commitment of some 70-80 lakhs. We have got it by now. Now we are seeking interest to complete this round and go further, wherein we'll be opening up our own center in Delhi for warehouse. It will be a 2,000 square feet of area that will be managed, run by us, and we'll be doing other cities as well, wherein we'll be opening up smaller facilities and doing it end to end by ourselves.
Yeah, so we are open for questions. Yeah. Request reviewers to also rate while others asking questions. Do rate. Sushmita ji, you will be rating later.
Yes, I'll rate later. I've taken my notes.
Right. Yeah, go ahead. We can open for questions.
Yeah, we will also be sharing the recording, right? If somebody wants to refer to it.
Yeah, sure. We can share the recording. But I'd still prefer they do it without the recording, Rajesh. But in emergency, we'll do share the recording.
No, happy to take questions. As an I'm into a domain, I was like listening to a couple of other pitches. So this is something which is completely different because I've seen a lot of people from a different technology and a lot of creativity to it. Logistic warehousing is not a limelight kind of profession. I am from this industry. I've been with the sellers. I've been with the aggregators. So this is something wherein I see a lot of business and a lot of value generation for our fellow founders and a D2C out there, because there are a lot of things that we are consuming, and as we are into a consumption-led economy, wherein I see that a meaningful business can be built. And there are limited people that we know in the logistic and warehousing space or supply chain space, which have scaled from a startup to a listed company or a unicorn. So there is a good and enough potential in our economy for another logistic company or a supply chain company to become a unicorn or to
Okay,
take
let's
that leap.
understand through questions. Chandan, yeah, let's quickly ask questions. We are running behind time, I know that, but yeah, let's quickly open questions.
Okay, I'm going to
Girish?
go. I'm going to go, yeah, Girish, because we don't have time. Chandan,
Yeah.
Firstly, very good presentation, and I think you got to the
Thank
nub of the issue. Well done. This is a crowded space, and margins are a concern. Okay, that's my first assertion to you. Who takes the risk on slow-moving inventory? Because you have your warehousing model. You said you have your hub, right?
We have
So who takes the risk on slow-moving inventory? Who's
So
responsible?
one that even if it is slow moving inventory, I as a service provider will make money. So we in our revenue model we have three things to it. So there's a throughput that generates. So we make money on every fulfillment that we do, even if a seller does not generate revenue and is a low selling SKU. So there's a storage cost that we build to them for keeping the inventory. But ultimately, it is not philosophically it is only a model, but it does not give you equivalent revenue. So we also tell them, the boss, this is a low selling SKU. Let's position it to a certain other location to it. So over a period of time, what we are building here to understand which SKU and which numbers and patterns are working well in what geography. Could be a possibility of a large white color shirt is going well in north in certain areas, not in south or not in northeast. So what we are building here, that which SKU and how to position and decentralize and centralize it back. And if it's a certain SKU which should go back and return back to the seller, this is something that will help in identifying to the seller. Because ultimately, more than me, a seller has to understand which are the low selling SKUs for them so that they can call it back.
No, Chandan, I'll ask the question again. I'm saying that until the time that you do the identification and it sits in your hub, is it sitting on your P&L or is it sitting on that fellow's P&L, that person's P&L?
No.
Whose P&L is this sitting on, that SKU?
So
are you owning that SKU?
No, we don't own the inventory. We are only a service provider. Okay. Nowhere we don't put in money in the inventory. We are only a service provider. Inventory does not belong to us. We make money for keeping the inventory.
Thank you. I think you answered your question, and that is a big concern for me, by the way, because it wasn't clear to me the way you said hub and spoke and all. I'm very happy to introduce you to one of my startups, which is a toy manufacturer in Chennai. You're not in Chennai, but this could become a flagship customer in Chennai, because you will need a flagship customer in every hub, somebody to get you going. Okay.
Yes.
You can't create a hub and wait for customers to come. It doesn't work like that.
Absolutely.
So very happy to take that offline, and no more questions. Thank you.
Any last question, anyone? No? Okay. Thanks, Chandan. We'll get back to you.
Thank you, everyone.
Go to the next pitch for today, which is Synsta. Harsh, over to you. So Harsh is building a low-code platform, and he's incubated by IIT Mandi. Over to you, Harsh. You can share your screen and share.
I think, Girish, this is a coincidence. Today I'm the third Harsh here.
Yeah,
and every time you're called, returns.
No, I realized that. Yeah, you're the third Harsh. Go ahead.
All right. Okay. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it's coming. Yeah, just make it full screen.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I belong to a beautiful village located in the hills of Himachal Pradesh. And to follow Devesh, I'm also a music lover, and I play Indian classical musical instrument, tabla. In terms of my professional career, I have been into software technology for more than 17 years, starting with the GPS-based systems, mobile technology, and server-based architecture. Leveraging all that experience I have gained all over the years and my team's expertise and today's current innovation technology, I'm presenting Synsta.io. We are a SaaS-based low-code platform to speed up software development. We are helping smaller and mid-sized companies, especially entrepreneurs, software developers, or enterprise teams to build enterprise-grade software systems. And this is how our tool looks like. We have two elements in our application. One is a front end and another is a back end aspect where customers can utilize the visuals to create nice front end for their end product. And we have the visuals for the backend as well, not like traditionally to write a lot of code for the backend. One can actually design the entire backend process and see it happening. In front of you, it's like a ticket reservation system, which one can see. And it's basically the combination of a lot of tasks and elements put together. It's like more like a process orchestration. And the outcome of this entire process is one HTTP call, which either you can utilize in the application or the front end, which you are building on click of a button to trigger it, or you can use it externally wherever you need it. Behind this product, we are a team of 5 members where Komal Gautam is my wife. She is handling all the operations of the company, hiring talent, and expanding the team. Ashutosh Singh is from the design background, helping with the design. Hani is leading our technical team, and Jyotsna is from the cloud and DevOps. We have also attracted talents globally who have been working, made the immense contribution in the product and working with us from last 1 year. And I'm thankful to all the mentors. They just came at the right time. When we initially launched, we were just at the seed stage with a simple idea where Mr. Vinod Sood and Saurabh Mittal from the business background helped us frame this entire business plan of our company, and where Mayank Maheshwari come from the technical background helped us with the technical stuff. So in terms of the milestones, we have already released our beta version in the market. And I want to take that opportunity since all of you are here. Our commercial launch is planned next month. And right now we are doing our field trials. So I welcome all of you. I'll drop the links of our application. Basically the 4 products which we have launched. Out of this, one is the front end and the back end, and the community of our application. I'll just drop it here and a test account. And I welcome all of you to try it out and share your valuable feedback. So when we started, we were not sure whether whatever we were building is going to be accepted in the market or people are going to like it or not. We launched in the early 23. We launched the beta version just to see the taste and understand the depth of the market. Realized we didn't have a lot of money to spend at that time. We received a lot of traction and volunteers came who used our product worldwide. More than 40,000 users used this product. A lot of people came from the US. That was the one test where we got go ahead for this product. But another was whether people will be ready to pay for it. That was the second thing. And then we started charging a small amount of money, say $5 to $10. Turned out like 200 paying customers from this product. And another important thing which happened was the customer reviews and the feedback which we have received. That was very important because that has helped us take the direction of the product. That's how our backend processing and modeling came into picture and we built it. In terms of our competition, OutSystem is our closest competitor in US at $10 billion US today. The primary difference with the company is they are still following the EXE-based model, traditional EXE-based model, whereas we are totally on the cloud. We are what sets us apart is we are following not like a jungle of templates, rather the smaller components where the creativity stays, user utilizes or creates those templates inside the organization, and they can further utilize it any of their projects in the organization. And BPMN based system, and then we allow users to have control over the source code. We are expected to reach 55 million by 2030, and our break-even is going to happen in the year 2028. So far, we have raised 200,000 from government agencies, family and friends, and that's what we have utilized to build this product. And our ask right now is $500,000 US at the valuation of $4 million US. This is our cap table. We're IIT Mandi Catalyst, Chitkara, Mighty, and family and friends who have invested in this product. There's a very good chance that Synsta will get acquired by the leading IT or financial companies that wants to augment to their existing capabilities of the markets. If we just look at the history, a lot of companies were acquired by the giants.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Harsh, for the crisp presentation. We are open for questions. You can stop sharing also, Harsh.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll just drop the link of the product which we have built.
Yeah, any low code, no code enthusiasts, coders. Yeah. Questions, please. So I had a question. Where is AI in the game, Harsh? Because now it's even Google is offering you coding, or even OpenAI is offering you coding software for front end, back end development. So I didn't see any comparison with the biggies. Yeah, Harsh.
Yes, sir. This is a very good question actually. Since a lot of talk, a lot of discussions is happening around AI ML, and somewhere wherever there is a startup or a company, we feel that there must be an AI ML thing in the product unless and until like there's no scope for the problem statement is becoming secondary. The AI ML is becoming the first thing. So to answer to your question, OpenAI is generating a lot of code, but to be honest, like we are also utilizing a lot of code which is getting generated by AI. But the problem with that code is it's not runnable, it's not compilable. There needs to be a developers team who take every bunch of code, compile it, test it, and then finally it is ready to be utilized. But the opportunity for us is like I showed you the front end aspect of our application where we are building this entire front end code. So we are integrating AI ML so that users don't have to spend a lot of time building these screens. They can simply type in the chat and generate a lot of their stuff and the components which they can utilize in their organization.
So it's kind of a Canva.
Yeah.
I just plug in, pick in whatever, choose the templates available, and some are paid, some are premium, right? Some are free to use. It's kind of a Canva for front end and back end development.
No, sir. It's more like a chat-based canvas where you can type in and then screens with pop-ups. So that's how it'll happen with the AI ML. But you have this option to still go ahead, like you were saying, drag and drop based creation. And the second important part of this AI ML is we seek that as an look at it as like an opportunity where customers come to us and they somehow want to integrate AI ML into their product. That's where our process-based orchestration comes into picture, where one can utilize not just one AI model, they can utilize one, two, or multiple AI models to create their one process. So that's the advantage which user gets to generate AI-based application using Synsta.io.
Okay. Yeah. Rishikesh, you have a point?
Yeah, are you the only founder or there are total 5 co-founders? It's not clear from that slide. Because
Okay,
you mentioned funder, not founder on your slide.
Okay. We are two of us, me and my wife. We started just before COVID hit this world. We started this venture. So.
Yeah, Harsh, quick one. What does it take if I want to integrate your product, just to replace couple of input fields in my app with a voice enabled, take it as a one language? I mean, how long does it take? What does it cost? Engagement model?
So it depends upon your requirement, like what is it that you are looking to build. So if you are looking to build a simple website kind of thing, then you can utilize our front end part of our application, which is a drag drop based application. And AI ML is yet to come. We are working on it, but it will be integrated to the same where you can utilize it to generate your screens. So, but if you are looking to build like an enterprise grade application where there is a process and the orchestration and the entire business model
Simple
around
ones.
it.
Simple app
Yes,
taking
sir.
an input instead of telling, I just want to capture the voice to a text and input.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly. And we are starting with like $20 per month plan, and we have three different kinds of categories where one can avail based on their requirements and the needs.
With NLP support, or is it additional that we have to manage?
Sorry, sir.
The NLP as a language support, or is it without what you're providing?
Sir, it's more like it's more like a pre-built templates which you receive. There are standard AI ML based templates which one can simply drag and drop to integrate into the final product, or you have the freedom in case if you have your own AI models built, or you want to utilize the say OpenAI third-party AI models, you have the option to integrate through the API and their security protocol into our system.
Understood. It's a $20 unlimited usage for one
Yes.
licensed entity, right? Okay.
Yeah, there are limitations like 5 users, 5 projects, and
Okay.
then 10 users. You'll come to know, like I just dropped the links and all. If you just explore, and then I'll be happy to connect with you separately
Definitely.
to share about
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, happy
Thanks,
to
Harsh.
connect anyone at OutSystem if you need. A friend of mine was heading the engineering for
Sorry,
OutSystem.
sir. Comes again. OutSystem.
OutSystem,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, if you need any contact, happy to introduce. We had
It
put it as
would
a
be
target.
it would be helpful, sir. It would be
Sure,
helpful.
definitely.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thanks, Harsh. And we'll go to the next pitch for today, which is Ketan from Talocity. Yeah, Ketan, we want you in full energy. I know it's eighth in the queue, but sorry, ninth in the queue, but we want you in full energy, Ketan. Yeah, Ketan is working on a HR tech startup from the candidate side. Yeah, over to you, Ketan. You can unmute yourself and share screen. Yeah.
Thank you, Girish. Thank you, everyone, and really appreciate this opportunity. I'm Ketan Devan from Talocity. I'll just share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Ketan.
So we are in the world of talent, and we are looking to replace the resume and the interview with something called TalScore. TalScore is an amalgamation of 7 assessments that an aspirant goes through. And there is a report that comes out along with scores for each sector job role combination. Currently, we are operating in 6 sectors and 6 job roles, so 36 combinations where we have trained the machine with our AI and ML on multiple factors, which I'm going to speak about. So this is the core team. This is me. I've got about 22 years of experience, predominantly in HR tech. I've had one exit with a company. My company got merged into PeopleStrong, where we build the entire RPO practice. I'm an MBA from Bayes Business School and have been in this field for the last about 14, 15 years. Anshul has built the entire AI engine. He was earlier a part of our team and now he operates as advisor. And Raman has built the entire product. And this is the other team members in the system. We have GP who helps us in the entire guidance on HR and talent acquisition. Bikram is the entire UI UX. He takes care of that. Kaushik is taking care of the entire partnerships. Prashant and Mitesh take care of sales. Pallavi takes care of HR. So we are on a purple journey to enable 100 million jobs and 1 billion smiles. So far, we've enabled about 0.7 million jobs. So long way to go for us. And in this endeavor, we are committed to make everything touchless. Touchless means there should not be any need for any click either. So the resume reality check, we all know the power of the resume is, especially for entry-level jobs, everyone has exaggerated skills. GPT produces a list of resumes and what are we looking at before we are filtering anyone. So the mismatch increases and it increases efficiency in the whole talent acquisition process. So we look at aspirants to have resumes no more and employers to have interviews no more. So a new era of common sense in hiring begins, which is where we are committed to deliver. So the problem statement is inefficient talent acquisition process and fundamentals of time, cost, throughput are not solved. Pretty much someone is solving some part of the puzzle. So we have come up with Talocity talent ecosystem, which is pretty much taking care of all the unmet needs of the customer from an employer-employee perspective, from an aspirant job seeker perspective, which is where the outcome comes out. In terms of total available market, and this is Indian market right now, we are talking of a $4 billion market, and the hiring cost for about 6.5 million people in the organized job sector, white collar workforce is where we are looking at. The potential available market is about 1.2 billion, where we are focused on 2 million of these jobs within ITES, banking, financial services, retail, global capability centers, and management consulting. And we are focused on about 200 million aspirants pursuing career services. So we are on path to enable this. By 2030, we would have done about 2 million jobs and achieving our revenue number of about $50 million. This is how the filtering process works. So if an aspirant comes in, they go through psycholinguistic assessments. We are the only ones in the world doing psycholinguistic, where we capture a person's eyeball movement, choice of word and tone, generate a report about the person, matching their competencies to various job role combinations. We also do learning style inventory. We do disc profiling on personality. Then we have a general aptitude assessment, etiquettes and manners, sector test, domain test, an English language test with an AI bot, and a one-way video interview. All total, a person gets 3 TAL scores for one given career report, and then they get their improvement areas and a lot of other stuff. So basically for the aspirant, the value prop is I don't need to make a profile, I don't need to make a CV, and I don't have to lose confidence by not getting selected from multiple interviews. For an employer, can I just view and hire? And the view could be watch a video and hire, or eventually just watch the TAL score and hire. So TAL score for career growth and recurring platform licensing for employers. Multiple challenges across the sectors that we operate in, and pretty much addressing these challenges for our customers, even at a granular micro level as well as at a scale level. This is our tech stack and the AI. So we've already generated and created the proprietary psycholinguistic AI, which we call Hero. And we are building the whole proprietary foresight engine called Jeet, which is capturing the aspirations, ambitions, and circumstances and caliber of an aspirant, and coming to conclusion on what career path he or she should pursue. And there are lots of things lined up on career pathing in terms of, hey, I have a challenge. I need to give $10,000 to my father in about 3 years. So the machine will, kind of share what is the career path you should take, what is the probability of you reaching there, and all that. Then we are also building a predictive recruiter AI called Ginny, where a lot of MIS in recruitment is MIS, which is backdated, or, what should I say? It's not predictive. So here we are building foresight into the whole engine. So a recruitment manager can say that the recruiter will miss his or her target by 40%, and the probability of that happening is 70%. And you can do this at the start of the month rather than at the end of the month. This is our competition. So we are amalgamating, as I shared, 4 different company types. So job boards, training and career companies, assessment companies, as well as recruitment companies. So we've positioned ourselves at the top right. Let me start with job boards. Job boards are providing random search match, and there is no guidance. So here we are providing targeted search match and guidance, and there is no touchless hiring built in, besides some companies like Unstop and IMJobs, which have some filtering criteria before a person can be viewed by the employer. If you look at training and career counseling companies, everybody is training for learning, not training for earning. So if I was not getting a 5 lakh rupee job, now I have to spend 50,000 rupees and I'm still not getting that 5 lakh rupee job. So what was the use of that? And the career journeys market is good, but it is not translating into learning for earning. The recruitment companies which are there in the market pretty much have bias in their hiring. If there is unbiased hiring, then that's not part of process. And it is impossible for their business models to deliver same-day hiring. Through Talocity, same-day hiring is possible and unbiased because there's no human intervention in the piece. Assessment companies, there is not much differentiation in the assessment, except for Pearson, which has got an excellent English language assessment product. but pretty much all others are doing multiple choice question based assessments in the non-technical assessments where we operate. A summary of this is, so on a job board, you'll download 150 CVs. You will not be able to hire one person. On Talocity, in 100 rupees, you can have 15 free views. This is a introductory offer that we have. You can have 15 free views, download one profile, and pretty much end up hiring one profile. This is our revenue journey. So we've had a little bit of a history, though we had launched in 2017. Post-COVID, we went into rough waters and we had all kinds of shit flying over the skies in the company. So we've relaunched ourselves from this year as a new entity. And we are going from, from a B2B engine now from a B2B to a B2B and B2C engine. So this year, we're going to look at about 15 crores of revenue, about 1.8 million, going to about 12 million by 2028 and touching our 50 million by 2030. So far in April, we've done about $8,000 of revenue. This month, we are going to do about $12,000 and poised to do about 30,000 for next month. Some key ratios, this year we will exit at an MRR of about $250,000. Target is to get 94 customers who are going to be the SME customers paying us about $150 for per transaction basis, and about 6 large customers which are going to pay us about $20,000 for each 3-month subscription. These are some of the customer acquisition numbers here for the current financial year, where the aspirant CAC blended comes to about $1. These are additional ratios in the business. So direct aspirant acquisition cost is about 142 rupees. Via business partner channel is minus 471 rupees, and the others. So it's a mix which we are, kind of looking at. There is a third party managing the whole business partner licensing and onboarding process for us. In terms of the other return models, of course, these are smaller bases, so the numbers are looking larger. We'll see how these numbers will pan out. We have baked in, which we had earlier also, we've baked in a governance charter where the first Friday of every month is titled as Chintan Day, where investors who come in, it's not just investment, you're part of the whole journey on a month-to-month basis, guiding us on how we are progressing and moving forward. Some additional numbers, we've learned it the hard way. Profit is a critical part. So we've baked in a 50% EBITDA margin in everything that we do. We don't give discounts to any customer. We've priced it in a manner where there is value add for you as well as there is value add for us. So overall team cost will continue to reduce because the fixed cost will reduce. The tech ancillary cost will increase, but it'll, kind of round up at about 9-10% as we scale. And the sales and marketing ancillary cost will also increase. And this is pretty much in line with the market practices for such a platform. Our ask is $600,000, about 5 crores. Our valuation is 50 crores, which is about $6 million. And if you come in, you're not only being part of this whole Talocity journey of growth and multiplying your investment, you're also being part of a journey where people get jobs, because when someone gets jobs, it's a very big thing. They're able to take care of their family, have respect in society, and 100th day of not getting a job, they don't become a criminal. And that's my last 1-minute wish before I die, that did I make 100 million jobs? Was I part of that whole process or not? So invitation.
Make some in the US also, Ketan. Huh? Don't make all in India. Make some in US also. Don't make all in India.
Sorry. Yeah. No. It's global. It's global. Started in India. It's global.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we are open for questions.
Talocity, thank you so much for your time. This is just a quick showcase of how the product looks like. And you can visit talocity.ai. There is a career report which you can take at 1,000 rupees plus GST, and you can take an English report in about 20 minutes, which is 300 rupees plus GST. And then there are a bunch of other B2B products and service offerings that we have. If we have time, I can quickly show how the reports look like.
But let's take questions, Ketan, now. Yeah.
Sure.
And maybe later. Yeah. Yeah. Rishikesh, any questions?
I mean, I have a lot of questions, but first of all, you're collecting a huge data set about a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
How scalable is that? Because I mean, if on one side you have somebody hiring for people. They want to at least look at 50 people, and yeah, I mean, you'll need a huge database with a lot of different things. So where are you right now?
So see,
I mean, resumes are easy to collect because they're already there, but this detailed psychos profile, etc., is going to take a lot of time, right?
So see, we've broken this down in a manner where let's look at, can we get, for the first quarter, we are looking at 5,000 people going through the Talocity career report. And Talocity career report, if 5,000 people go through, our target is, can we get 500 to 700 people placed? And those 500 to 700 people is an easy cookie, because you sit in front of a customer and you say, hey, this is what it is. They're willing to pick it up. In terms of the 5,000 people coming on board, we are running multiple sessions in colleges. We are starting with a brand ambassador campaign from July onwards to attract people, very, very strong brand credentials. Somebody who did a movie in the job world space in the Bollywood sector. So that's what we are launching. And it is about, see, database, any big company has database, which is, I've got 200 million database, I've got 300 million database. We are looking at it that, hey, I've got a 5,000 database. Let me make sure 700 get placed. Next quarter, I've got a 20,000 database. Let's make sure 2,500 get placed. And that's how, the movement will happen. You have to make a start. And from a scalability perspective, we are a Google for Startups funded company on server costs and scalability and guardrails and the entire data security. So we are scalable from the start, and that is, kind of baked in as part of our tech stack. I hope that answers that question, but we have to make a start. This is the start.
Okay.
Yeah, Devesh.
Hi, Ketan. Very crisp presentation. Thank you. I didn't see, I saw a number, $250,000. I saw a number of customers, 94. Who's your biggest customer?
As I said, we went into rough waters post-COVID. We had to shut down our previous engine, and we have relaunched now. So currently we have the revenue that we baked in April is from a customer called Adani Solar, and May predominant revenue is coming from individual aspirants, and June revenue will come in again from a combination of aspirants and customers.
Okay, so that leads me to the next question. Girish, is this the last presentation, or are we wait? Is there another
Second
one?
Last. One more
Okay.
Spacetech last.
Okay, so I'll keep it very short. So you're going to collect money both from the guy who registers, okay, the person who registers, who takes the test, and you're going to collect money from the person who
hirer
also, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, great. So Ketan, thanks for the presentation, and we'll get back to you with the results. Yeah, the last presentation today. So I had angels who called me and said, Girish, kuch Spacetech mein hai kya? And we had Spacetech startups. Now most of Spacetech startups are pre-revenue, so tough to assess. So last is the Spacetech startup called Synodic. Over to you, Prakhar. I read about the IIT Chennai professor who's funded 5 startups across satellite building to VTOLs, right? So a lot of action happening in this space, and even government is looking at Spacetech startups in a very value-adding way. So over to you, Prakhar. Let's see what you are building.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope I'm clearly audible to everyone. Just give me a thumbs up.
And it's the last presentation for today. So thanks for everyone's patience. Request everyone to rate. We can share the recording if you need. You can get in touch with Rajesh if you need the recording. I'd love if you can rate it in the next few hours, because you are ripe with all the feedback. Yeah. And thanks to Girdharan sir. Yeah, I saw your rating, Girdharan sir. Good rating, sir. It's very valuable. We'll be compiling everything and deciding who's fundable, who's got what gaps. So thanks. Yeah. Over to you, Prakhar.
Thank you so much, sir. So thank you so much, Girish sir, for introducing the booming space sector, which is picking up light right now. And we are a very early stage space tech startup as of now. We currently have 2 divisions. The name of the company, as mentioned, is Synodic Space Labs Private Limited. We are working in 2 divisions. One, the main focus of ours is the research and development divisions, which is working on a hybrid and solid rocket engine. And we have another division which is working on space education part. So as the major problems which are being faced in the space sector right now is that the launch frequency is really increasing with the 180 launches itself in 2023, and we are expecting 500 launches per year by 2030. The increased demand in orbital launches in every year. Now, three other major problems which is occurring in the space sector are how much space debris is being produced by every single launch. We're talking about 20 to 40 tons of debris per launch. Then the toxic gases which are released by these launches. One single launch produces around 1 lakh kgs to 3 lakh kgs of toxic gases, which are not only toxic for health, but they are carcinogenic. You are talking about gases which can cause cancer. Then another major problem which India is facing particularly, I won't say US or other countries, but India is facing particularly is that they are still using commercially available operating system for their launch systems, launch services. Right. For example, ISRO is still working on a customized Linux-based software, which lacks functionality plus poses serious privacy issues. So these are the three problems which we have addressed in a startup. So we have worked out the orbital launch frequency increase by using reusable launches, and we have also worked out the launch frequency by increasing the number of launches per month. Till now, there are startups. There is only one startup which has been able to do multiple launches per month, which is SpaceX. No other startup has been able to do, or no other company or space agency has been able to do the same. Then we are moving towards reusable boosters, thus reducing the space debris. Then also we are reducing the release of toxic gases and carcinogenic gases by first moving towards greener propellant in the solid sector, as well as switching towards hybrid rocket technology, which very few people internationally are presently working on. When it comes to the India-specific problem of operating system, we are presently building our own operating system. So let's start with the first three problems first. So the solution to the first three problems is a Sky PSS series of launch vehicles. We have different categories in this launch vehicle, which include single-stage, two-stage rockets. We also have sounding rockets in development, as well as space launch vehicles, which would have a maximum target altitude of 800 kilometers. So we are talking about low Earth orbits, and we are mainly targeting the small and medium-sized satellites. The rocket engine technology which we are going to use are solid rocket propulsion and hybrid rocket propulsion. When it comes to operating system, this thought came to us while we were working on our own launch vehicle. We saw that there is no particular operating system which is commercially available, and every company is trying to build their own software, which again would be running on a commercial operating system. So we took inspiration from a Netflix series, honestly, which is called Salvation. They had a supercomputer called TESS, and that is what we have focused on. We have named our operating system, and we took the AI design idea from there, as well as the features as well. So this test operating system would be able to function from testing, manufacturing, simulations, to pre-flight launch checkups, then post-flight data analysis, everything. So A to Z of the launch systems and launch vehicles. That is what our Synodic Space R&D division is presently focusing on. Now, all these things require, even if we are able to develop the operating system, even if we are able to develop launch vehicle, we need a target audience. Though the target audience, the target market presently is huge, but for the future, we have to keep developing and come up with new customers for our own services, right? For that purpose, we launched the Synodic Space Education. Synodic Space Education is presently the limelight of our company, because this is this division which is keeping the company upholded and taking care of the expenses which are going into the research and development division, because we have been completely bootstrapped till now. We have multiple paths, so we are a A to Z solution when it comes to space education. There are multiple companies doing the same thing, but again, they either offer webinars or seminars, or they do hands-on workshops, or they do online courses. We are a one-place solution for all of them. So this is a huge market opportunity. So right now, this Indian space sector itself, we're not talking global, the Indian space sector itself is around $7 billion, and the projected growth is to $50 billion to up till 2028, which is huge. Now there is a huge growing demand for small and medium satellite launches when we talk about the satellite constellations coming into play, such as Starlink, then OneWeb, etc. Then there is a lack of reusable and eco-friendly launch solutions in India. There is no reusable rocket in India till now. There are companies who are presently funded and working on it. We will come to it in the competitor section. And there is huge potential for a company to tap both Indian as well as global market. Now, there was no specific numbers available to us when it came to space education market sizing. So we took a bottom-up approach. We defined our target audience for each service and then went on to it to calculate the market size. And for the complete market size for per annum came out to be nearly 1,380 crores, which is growing at a CAGR of 21%, which was taken by top-down approach on the basis of the growth of space economy in India. When it comes to the Indian total market sizing, right now, in 2019, it was $7 billion US, and 2024 and 2025, right now it is nearly $60.5 billion US, and we are projecting to grow till $50 billion US by 2029. And these are facts which are based on the reports coming from ISRO as well as Deloitte and Aero Consult. Now, the entire space sector is not our market. The major space sector is divided into launch services, satellites, data processing, and space education, and some other smaller components. We are specifically targeting the launch services market and the space education market. So for defining the Indian addressable market, we took those two, and in 2019 it was 3.15. Presently, we are in 2025 it was $5.6 billion US, and presently we are standing at nearly $6.4 billion US. And by 2029 we are projecting a growth up till $20 billion US. Then coming to target of groups and the business model. So we are a combination of B2C, B2B, and B2B2C models with a target groups of schools, colleges, researchers, the students themselves, and both upper and middle class are our targets. We are trying to come up with programs for the lower class and specially able students as well, but we are still in the planning stage for those. Thanks. Coming to our Synodic Space Research and Development divisions, target group and business models. Again, here we are going for both all three, B2C, B2B, and B2B2C. So sounding rockets would be targeting the amateur satellite manufacturers who just want to take their satellites up to a certain altitude of 15 to 20 kilometers and then test them just as a prototype. Then the weather forecasting agencies and atmospheric research requirements, they require sounding rockets quite frequently, and that is what we are targeting. For the Sky PSL space launch vehicles, we are going for satellite manufacturers and astrotourism market, where we would be going for both launching satellites as well as launching humans in space in the coming time. We have a test operating system where we would be targeting private space tech companies as well as the space agencies. Then we have green propellant composition. So as I was telling that we are shifting towards a greener propellant and solid rocket motors, and which no one has been able to do it till now in this entire world because of the reduced efficiency particularly. So we have already done a few researches, and we still have a long way to go. We require another year or so of research to file a patent on it to make sure that we have exactly or with a margin of 5% of performance of the currently commercially available systems. So that would be another patent which we would be able to extract royalty from. And then we have onboard flight computers which we are building from the scratch instead of buying them and outsourcing them. Then this is the competitive scenario on the basis of price and quality for the space education division. This graph clearly shows that we are standing at the best quality, though we are a bit more expensive than a few companies, but we still have major standing, and we have conducted various events, particularly which I would be coming up to later stages. We have in India, specifically Jeric Space, who is doing really great, but they are still lacking a bit of quality, which we have heard from the customers' feedback. And on the basis of customer feedback, we have been one of the best companies till now. When it comes to competitive scenario for the Synodic Space Research and Development division, in India, there are major competitors who are well funded. As of now, we have Skyroot Aerospace, which has been funded with $99.8 million already, and they are yet 2 years away from launching their first rocket into space. Then They have a team size of 350 people, VC backed, founded in 2018, one of the largest space tech companies, and they are planning to go public maybe later this year or early next year. Then we have a company called Cosmos, Ethereal X, which all have been well funded. We have been currently bootstrapped, and we are looking for a pre-seed round right now.
Yeah, you
Now,
have to conclude, Prakhar. 30 seconds, you have to conclude. Okay.
Sure. The major USP which we have in the research and development division is that we have a combination of both greener solid propulsion system as well as innovative hybrid propulsion, which a few companies internationally are working on, and no company in India is presently working on, except for one which tried it but severely failed, which is Space Zone India. Then coming to the revenue forecasting for our space education sector, we are forecasting to grow up to an ARR of 30 CR by the end of 3 years. Projecting
So currently, what is the revenue MRR currently?
Currently, we are, sir, at ARR of nearly 60 lakhs.
Okay. So MRR of around 5 lakhs. Okay.
Right.
Fine.
So we are projecting a growth up to 30 CR of ARR from all the activities combined. This is the milestone chart for, we have not done the revenue forecasting for our research and development projects as of yet, because we are still in the development phase and we have not even tested all the prototypes. Now, this is a milestone chart which we are looking at, and we are planning to, as mentioned.
Show the team, na? Prakhar, you didn't show the team. Show us the team.
Yeah, I would be coming to team, sir. It is just after the milestone.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So by the third year, we would be to reach 30 CR of ARR. This is a plan which we are focusing on. Then coming to our Synodic space R&D milestone chart, we are planning to be commercially available within next 48 months with break even after 2 years after that. This is a core team, which is the leadership and the foundership team. I'm the founder and CEO of the company with a background in aerospace engineering and MTech in rocket propulsion. I also have an MBA in advanced general management. We have a co-founder who is also present in the meeting, Lalit Sharma. He has a BTech degree in electronics and electrical engineering with certification in data science and machine learning. We have two of our other co-founders, who is one is in IIT Madras as of now, pursuing his PhD in rocket propulsion, and another co-founder who is presently pursuing his PhD in rocket combustion from New Jersey Institute of Technology. So both of these co-founders are presently working part-time, whereas the CEO and myself are working full-time. This is a recent prototype video which we tested. So the target altitude for this was 1 kilometer, and actual altitude which we achieved was 1.2 kilometers. The engine and propellant test was successful. While the live data transmission, there was a certain data packet loss, which we have noticed at high speeds, and that is what we are targeting next. We are planning to do a next prototype launch by the end of month of June, which would be again for 1 kilometer as well as for 3 kilometers at the same time on the same day. Then coming to the next slide. These are our static fire tests, which we did for hybrid propellant rocket static motors. This was an interrupted test with a 4-second fire, then a 1 second break, then a 3-second fire, then a 1 second break, and another 2-second fire, then 1 second break. This signifies that we would be able to achieve reusability using hybrid engines. This was a solid rocket motor test, which we did with a great combustion efficiency noticed. These rockets have a capability to reach around 2 kilometers in altitude, which are and these are our prototype engines.
How far are you from patenting?
So we require another 1.5 years to close the patents.
Valuable
For
patents, you are
propellant
saying
itself, we
about
would be
1.5
requiring
years.
around 12 months.
It will be
while
on
for
the propellant. And that patent will be on the propellant, nothing else.
The propellant as well as the rocket engine itself. So both of the technologies are patentable. So we are 12 months away from patenting the propellant, and we are 18 months away from patenting our rocket engine designs. Coming next, this was another event which we did for.
So we can pause for questions, Prakhar. I think we've understood. What are you fundraise? How much are you looking at? Just show that slide.
Yeah. So we are presently looking at a 3 CR INR of fundraise, which is nearly $350,000, which will give us a runway of 6 months for research and development. The major deployments of this fund would be prototype manufacturing and testing, R&D, infrastructure development, and human resource development. So we have great talent in team, but we are not able to sustain them and keep them in-house because of the lack of funds.
Currently, you are bootstrapped. How much of self-funded? Like, have you raised any friends, family, or
Presently
only
till now, so I have self-funded myself of nearly 15 lakh rupees.
Okay. Yeah, we're open for questions, team. Yeah, thanks for your patience. Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen. Yeah, we're open for questions.
So,
Interesting
Prakhar, I'm going to
space.
go. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
going
go
to go
ahead,
first.
Go ahead.
Prakhar, your 60 lakh revenue, how many customers does that translate to? Number of customers?
So to define the total number of customers won't be the exact
So what's your average transaction value currently?
The average transaction value is nearly 1.2 lakhs.
So your space education, each person pays 1.2 lakhs per course?
No, so our target audience is not only B2C. We are, as I told, we are going B2B as well. So we charge the colleges and the educational institutes to pay for the services, while they have the right to either charge the students or they can pay themselves.
Okay, so you're a mix of B2B and B2C.
Yes.
Okay. My second question is, I didn't see an advisor slide. Maybe it was there. I missed it. I apologize. Who are your advisors?
So we presently are in process of getting advisors. We have unofficial advisors on board, one of which is the director of promotion directorate from InSpace. We have unofficial advisors from BIT Mesra, which is one of the oldest college in the space tech field. But yet they are yet to formally join the organization as advisors.
Okay, so I have seen a lot of space presentations, Prakhar.
Right.
I did not hear the word NPL or ISRO mentioned even once in your presentation. I'm surprised, very surprised.
Yeah. That is the major reason behind that is that we are going towards helping out the private sector. So we believe in collaboration. So there are people who use buzzwords like ISRO, and I completely agree. ISRO is a big, huge target audience for us as well. So whenever they want to launch a satellite, they can definitely become a customer of us. While we also believe that ISRO is responsible for launching the larger section of the satellites, which are big in size, and our target audience is small and medium sized satellites.
Okay.
So that makes ISRO not a customer for us.
Okay. And my last point, I'm sorry, Girish, I have to mention this point. Prakhar, my initial evaluation is you have too many products, too many slides. You're 1 mile wide. You need to go 1 mile deep. Okay. And you need to choose your product array. You're going to be into reusability. You want to be in education. You want to be in rocket propulsion. I'm sorry if I had to summarize in one sentence, you're all over the place. You really need to focus your product proposition.
I completely agree with you, sir. The education division was started to make sure that we are able to sustain our research and development because we didn't have enough funds. So whatever revenue which we have generated from space education till now, we have pumped the entire thing into research and development. So that is the reason we had to do it.
But all power to you, okay? I don't want to be negative. I want to end on a positive note. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. You're going into areas, everybody else wants to sell, soaps and toothpaste. You guys are far, far away from it. So congratulations. This is
so much, sir.
Not other teams are going. So all power to you. Okay, you are the future.
Thank you so much, sir.
Go ahead, Sushmita.
Hi. So you mentioned one is greener propulsion, second is TESS OS, the simulation, right? The greener propulsion, ISRO and DRDO both are working separately. I don't know the connection in between them, right? Manastu had tried it again, right? And we've even had a chat with NASA. So do have a chat up, like discuss with them what were the failures, what they had to go through. If you are actually going for greener propulsion, again, as Devesh said, too many products. You're doing vehicles, you are doing rockets, you're doing propellants, greener propulsion. You also talked about simulations. I am very curious, like Boson is actually doing the simulation. So what is that you are doing when they are doing the simulation? Are you arranging and showing the data, or you're analyzing? So that is one part. Yeah, so also talk to Bellatrix maybe, because they have done pretty good payload and vehicles. They've launched a test launch many of them by now.
So I will come to you, answer your first question. That ISRO and Manastu Space are presently working, and in Manastu Space has also test launched their propulsion system. So specifically, they have worked on green propulsion for satellites. Now they are using hydrogen peroxide as a fuel for satellites. Now the major difference between using green propellant for satellites and a launch vehicle is that when you go for satellite propulsion, it does not require a lot of thrust. We are talking about maximum of 1 to 2 newtons of thrust. While when we talk about green propulsion for launch vehicles, we are talking about lakhs of newtons of thrust, thousands of kilonewtons of thrust to be specific. So there is a huge difference between that. And when it comes to Bellatrix, they have been focusing on electric propulsion again for satellites, not for the launch vehicle. So that is what makes us different for them. So they are focusing on the satellite part. We are focusing on the launch vehicle part. They are a customer for us.
Okay.
Other than that, coming to the boson Q pi, as you mentioned. So boson Q pi are working on quantum-based algorithms for optimization of various parameters.
Right.
So they are testing their systems based on our data, and on the basis of that, we are in the process of signing an exclusivity clause that we would be able to use their algorithms in our operating system to provide those services through our operating system itself.
Got it.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can end on this high. I'm also as happy as Devesh to see India doing so much of space tech. So really exciting times. Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I know it's been a marathon session. So thanks again from all of us at Team SARTHY for your patience. Request to do review because we'll compile all this feedback and share with them. Yeah. And if you want the recording, you can reach out to Rajesh and we'll share the recording with you by day end. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Devesh. Thanks, Shushmitaji. Yeah. There are two observers also, Sanoj and all, but hope you enjoyed the overall 42-day journey, Sanoj and team. Thank you.